I was Floyd and he was me,
Yeah.
he wouldn't never have to fight again because that exhibition shit,
Yeah.
as me being his little brother, hey, little bro, we finna do 10 rounds and we both gonna get 100+ million for it.
Right.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
right.
well, I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Right.
And you ain't never.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes. Got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it. This channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the family. How y'all feeling on this good Monday? We back to build on this boxing and give it its just due. How we always do. Smash the like button, sub to the channel, turn the notifications on. Come say what's good with the family. Come be a part of the 10K grind. Shout out to my dog Mike, Mazak, my brethren. What's going on, bro? How you feeling? Oh, you gonna hit me for sure? I got you. Joseph, what it do, homie? How you feeling? I got you. Feel free, my guy. We gonna build on this boxing for a little bit, though, man. We had a good weekend, another good weekend of boxing. I enjoyed it. For those that was there, man, y'all was in the building. We called the fights, man. Good, lot of good action from this past weekend. Ozell, what it do? Man, he don't want that. He ain't there yet, man. But I tell you, we're gonna talk about it because 147 is getting a lot more interesting. 147 is getting interesting. Remember, it cooled off for a while with Spence and Crawford leaving and kind of let Boots on the island with no real major dance partner. Virgil Ortiz ended up out of 47, right? And we was left with Boots and, the Barrios is right. And it was looking a little shaky at 147 for a little bit, but things have changed, man. Things have changed quite a bit since then. You got the emergence of Brian Norman making a statement in a big way this past weekend. You got guys like Tiger Johnson making his debut at 47. You get what I'm saying? Making a statement there. You got dudes like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia is going to be a part of 47. So I think we got a lot of entertaining and interesting matchups moving forward. And there's no telling, who going to really be there when the smoke clear. We got our ideas as to who going to be there, but you just never know with boxing, right? Shout out to my dog, Irvin Mack. How you feeling, bro? My baby girl, the queen, Miss Jusdu, is in the building. How you feeling, baby girl? Yeah, hit that like button for your boy. We gonna build for a bit. We gonna talk this good old boxing this weekend. Like I said, man, 47 got me. I'm hyped for 47 more than I've been in quite some time. Like I said, since Bud and EJ left up out of 47. It's only been like Boots, like I said, and just been some up and coming talent. But I think now it's to the point where you got a couple guys that moved out of 40 now at 47. It's a lot of good matchups. B Norman this weekend, bro. I gotta say it, man. He did it again. BJ 33 in the building. He did it again, y'all. He did it again. Brian Norman Jr. did it again. And why I say did it again, not only did he win, and he made another statement, but he did it again because he proved people wrong again. This is another fight that people kept saying was very dangerous for him. And, this could be an upset and all these different things. And now you see the fight play out. And, you got to, it's like B. Norman has arrived. You got to look at him as a legit champion. I don't care what you say, a real player. I'm not looking for no reason to take no credit from him. You get what I'm saying? This was a dangerous fighter that he was getting in there with. Guy with a bunch of knockouts, same way he had, right? He had just the one loss and never been stopped. It was a decision loss at that. So this dude was a real test. You know what I mean? I know he had some time off, but so did Brian Norman. Brian Norman was the one coming off an injury as well as inactivity. So I'm not really going to buy too much into he was inactive and X, Y, and Z. Man, listen, they both was. And one guy was coming off an injury as well as the inactivity. You know what I'm saying? The injury led to the inactivity for Brian Norman. So, and you could see the scar on his hand, got the hand healed. I think his dad said the right hand that he got the surgery on, but nonetheless, he went out there and like I said, this was a fight that if you ain't on your P's and Q's, man, you could mess around, get stopped, get caught with something, man. Derrick Quavers is a legit puncher with some heavy hands, and we found that out, as did Brian Norman, early in the fight in that first round when he got caught with one of those hooks early. Exchanging with a hooker. Dante's Boxing Talk, my dog. What's good with it, bro? Urban Mac, appreciate y'all, man. We gonna cook. So he found out early that Quavers really could punch. It was the left hand surgery, one of them. So nonetheless, man, he didn't come in there looking like a guy that was coming off an injury. He didn't look rusty, so to speak, too much to me. Both guys came in there going for it, landing their shots early. Like I said, Brian Norman got buckled just a slight bit early in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He got caught, he got tested, he felt that power early, but he stayed in there, and he gave Quavers everything he was looking for, man. What made this fight impressive to me, I don't know if people really looking at it like that. He made this dude quit. He made dude quit. Like, I don't know if people was really watching it or how they looked at it, but he made him quit. Like, he legit made Buddy ass quit. Cut creator, my God, shout out to you. Ace, what's good with it, family? How you feeling? He made this guy quit, bro. And that shit is impressive. Like, you got a guy that was coming in there fighting for the title. You get what I'm saying? He was gonna give it his all, man. He had a life-changing situation too. You know what I'm saying? If he's to win that title, things change drastically for him. If he's the guy to dethrone Brian Norman, give him his first loss, and obviously if he was to win that fight, it wasn't gonna be no decision victory because that dude, like I said, heavy-handed and he's punching with bad intentions. But you get what I'm saying? When Brian Norman started and turned the heat up, that was it for him. You get what I'm saying? That was it. Once he turned the heat, that was it. It was like, what's next? And he didn't have an answer. And I got the short clip. Like I said, man, it's just an impressive win, bro. And I wanted to see this so much for Brian Norman because, again, these those trap fights, those tricky fights, those kind of, opponents where you got to make sure you handle business so you can get to the next fight, right? To the bigger fights, the more lucrative opportunities, the unifications potentially, right? The Boots Ennis's of the world, right? That you don't get there if you don't get through this guy. He dethrone you and take your belt. Now that fight is in question. So I wanted this fight real bad for Norman, and again, he just showed people why you can't count the young man out. I said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it until people realize it. He was learning on the job. You know, he transitioned from fighting in those smaller, much smaller venues to fighting up under the lights. You know, Top Rank shed a light on him, had him fighting on their platform. You get what I'm saying? It was an adjustment period, I think, that took shape. He had a couple tough fights. And since then, you know, he's been kind of quieting some of that noise. And, you know, he's still a work in progress, right? He's not a finished product. He's very young with his B Norman, 24, I believe. He's still learning too, but this is what you want to see from fight to fight. You want to see consistency inside the performances in the ring, right? And that's what you're getting from him. He went out there against Santian and proved a lot of people wrong. They bet against him, counted him out. He went out there and stopped this dude in a bloodbath, man. Bloodied him up, stopped him. He took the fight out of him. And then look, for the second fight in a row, y'all, another dangerous guy that was punching the same way he was. He made him quit. He took the fight out of him. Yo, that dude did not want to continue. I love it, man. B Norman, man, he's shutting shit up. And he cold. He's staring over the bodies after he catch him. I love it, man. You got to love this for a young fighter, man. A guy that is you know, wasn't expected to be here, but he proving you wrong. And fighters do get better. They do learn. You get what I'm saying? Brian Norman was almost counted out a little too soon. And again, this past weekend, not so much counted out, but you have people still had their reservations and kind of a little iffy as to say if he was going to win this fight. I told people I was rocking with him. I think this could be another statement fight. I was on the record saying it. That's pretty much what he did. He came out and made another statement and got tested early, which is good. You want to see it. But he showed you what he made of. It's going to take more than a couple good shots to knock him off his square, because he's going to get right back in there and get to it. And he's going to hit you just as hard as you hit him, if not harder. Gotta love it, man. He going to get his back, man. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the performance from Brian Norman. It was short, but it was sweet. You know what I'm saying? It was sweet. Shout out to my dog, man. He said, Duke, I don't watch college. You talking about basketball? Dang, father, what it do? SOB TV, Aisha, peace and blessings to the queen. Shelton, what it do, homie? Mm-hmm. You know it, Mr. Empire in the building, my dog Thomas Hill. Yeah. It was a statement, right, Irvin? I think so. The Butcher, what it do? Roja, what's good with it, bro? Yeah, I'll make sure y'all hit that like button for you, bro, man. We're going to build for a bit. We got to recap these fights. Shout out to the clean shade. How you feeling? Norman's too hungry. Hey, man, talk about it, bro. He is, bro. Hey, man. Hey, you get what I'm saying? Facts. That's a fact, Roja. He got put in there with some tests that, you know, young guys could slip. That's all I'm saying. They could piss the bed, shit the bed, whatever you want to call it. He didn't do that. And he looked impressive. And the fact that he got his chin checked early, man, it was even more impressive. I love to see fighters get tested and figure it out. And he figured it out fast. And you seen him start having that glove up. He had that right hand, glued to the chin after that. Got to give him credit. Him and his dad, they made the necessary adjustments, man, because he couldn't afford to keep allowing that hook to get home. You get what I'm saying? Marcus, what it do, homie? How you feeling? Hope Boots don't stay in the pocket with Norman. Man, it's going to be interesting if he do. You know he'd be willing to. That's the crazy part. But Japan could be big. Japan versus USA. Yeah, it could be something. But I tell you what, I'm with Shelton, man. That unification is right there. You get me? Now it's time for Boots in April to do his thing against Dan Jonas, man, because that's the fight. I ain't going to lie to you. I know you got Barrios out there and all that, but look, that's the fight. That's the fight. Be Norman and Boots. Call it what you want. I mean, is it safe to say that this fight is looking more competitive now than it ever did with him and Boots? Or do people still think Boots just going, you know, walk through? Because although this fight didn't go long, just from a mental aspect, right, as well as it being a physical test, this dude is getting through these fights and he doing it in impressive fashion, right? He ain't getting beat. He ain't getting his ass beat. He ain't looking sloppy. He looking sharp. B Norman, good. His reflexes and stuff, man. His feet was together. His balance was on point. Shot selection, yo. Norman was ready to fight, y'all. He was prepared. His dad said it took him around to start doing the things he was asking him to do. Well, it's all good because he figured it out and he got it done. And he didn't look bad doing it, man. That's a clean performance, bro. And now you can start to see the consistency. Remember, we seen a couple shaky performances, right? Now what you're starting to see is, I think, the more consistent side of Brian Norman, what he really is, right? As he continuing to smooth out the rough edges and just polish up his game and get better. You actually seeing this in live time, man. I don't want to overstate the wins or anything, but I'm just talking about the performance, right? Maybe these names ain't the craziest, but they're dangerous guys that can knock your ass out if you ain't on point. And this dude approaching these fights the right way, he getting in there and mixing it up. And for him to have, be coming off an injury and time off, he put this guy away in spectacular fashion. Cornelius, what it do, homie? How you feeling? Crush the legend, my dog. What's good, bro? Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That is a fact. Compton Twine said Brian Norman and Boots is a new Crawford and Spence. They gotta make it. They gotta make it. And the meeting don't work too hard, man. Yeah, hit the like button. We gonna keep building. This was a great weekend of fights. And again, Brian Norman just showed you why he is a legit champion at 47. Call it what you want. Like they the new version, right? They are I ain't saying they Spence and Crawford, but in terms of now this fight starting to just be the fight to make. I ain't saying this is big as that or none of that, right? I'm just saying it's one of them fights that has to be made now, I think, honestly. And there's no better place for either one to go. Obviously, granted that Boots get past Stanionis, right? Get what I'm saying? That's a unification. It's mouth watering and all that good shit. You want to see it. Get me? Brian Norman is starting to be a must see guy, and you can't count him out. You get me? And you can't count him out. You count him out, he's gonna show you wrong. I mean, he's gonna prove you wrong. So to my count, that's twice in a row. You get what I'm saying? Had a couple shaky performances, and then back-to-back impressive statement type wins that really solidify your spot where you at. And I think the next thing for you is really Boots, man. That's all that's left for you. You know what I mean? I know it's Barrios, but again, no fight make better sense than that Boots fight for him. Hey, man. Hey, he cracking, ain't he? Hey, he cracking, ain't he? Man, stand a fighter now. Yeah, he got to make it. You hear me say that. Banks, what it do, homie? How you feeling? Definitely got to make it past Stanionis, but much respect to him. Just if I give out my early pick, I think Boots is going to get past Stanionis. I just think, for Stanionis to win this fight, respectfully for me, a lot of things have to really go well for him. And I just think as an overall talent, right? Talent and skill level, and just a natural athlete, I just think Boots checked those boxes and he got the edge in several of those areas, right? Where I think this is his fight to lose, respectfully. Stanionis is a real threat, but this is Boots' fight to lose, right? He's a guy that's looked at as the dude that could carry the division, man, solidify the division, unified and become undisputed if given the opportunity. Right? At least that's the consensus for a lot of the fans when it comes to Boots. And no, we're not looking past Stanionis, right? We're not counting them out because we seen the upsets. This year upsets happen, right? But if I'm just thinking off of what they've been showing me, I think this is Boots' fight to lose, right? Because he checked several of those boxes in a way that Stanionis don't for me, right? So Boots is more than likely going to win. I think he can crack a bit, Roach. I think he can crack a bit. But I don't feel like it's no one punch fight changing power. You get me? Whereas Boots got to be like, I feel like Villa was more of a puncher than Stanionis. Stanionis is just a better fighter, probably overall than a Villa. But don't be surprised if it looks similar. I'm telling you, I think Boots' speed and athleticism right off the bat for Stanionis is going to be difficult for him to deal with. But Stanionis can box. He do got a heavy jab that he knows how to use, goes to the body well, but I think he just get hit too much for me. And unless he's able to change that all in one fight, I don't see it, right? I see Boots being able to feast at certain points in this fight. So I don't want to look over him and just say he ain't going to be a test, but this is definitely Boots' fight to lose to me, in my opinion. With much respect to Stanionis, I think that inactivity for him might be an issue too. Against Boots, right? He ain't been the most active guy either, so he got that to worry about. Now you going up against a dude that's really, really like that, in my opinion, right? You seen the fight? Didn't he fight who he fought? Gabriel Maestre, He was getting hit quite a bit in that fight, right? And Maestre is just not the kind of talent or athlete that Boots is, right? The thing is with Boots will be able to make him miss at points where I think it would just be a lot easier for Boots to hit him than the other way around, right? And I think that's where the problem starts for Stanionis. You can't be offering your chin up on a platter to Boots Ennis, bro. You just can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That come forward, I'm going to just, you get what I'm saying? I'm going to grind you down where you are. I just don't see it. I see Boots being able to, man, I don't want to overstate it, but I'm telling you, I think this could be a really good performance for him stylistically. If he's focused, and shout out to Greg Hackett. Greg Hackett made a great point. It's all up to Boots and where he at mentally. Don't go in there trying to do too much because you don't got to. You get what I'm saying? And that's really the key. Going out there, just letting your offense flow. Dare I say, having fun out there, as they like to say, right? Boots just need to do him and don't force nothing. And I really think this could be one of them performances that he style on him, and one mixtape. I'm telling you, I really do. I think he could make an example out of Stanionis with the right kind of performance. And it don't have to be a knockout. It could just be a beatdown. But I think it could lead to a knockout. That's knocking Stanionis out would be impressive. That would be a little feather in his cap if he's able to do that. So I want to see it, man. I want to see it. Yeah, them Norman left hooks ain't nothing to play with. Boots or Stan. It's tough, man. Uppercut said he said target practice. I think we might see a Via type performance. It's possible. We say who had the toughest victories. But you know what? The Butcher, Stanionis might have the tougher victories. But do you know why that is? I mean, he's fought solid competition for sure. That's part of it. But I think the other side is the way he fights. It's his style, right? He's not known to blow a guy out, to get in there and just dominate, right? The fights are always scrappy and the rounds are typically competitive with Stanionis. He'll just edge him out or he'll win the round, whatever the case may be, but he takes punishment and damage along the way. Every fight that I've seen him in has been the same in terms of him getting hit. It's a common theme. He's just not a tough guy to hit. And I don't see him changing that up on the night he fight Boots. And that's where the problem starts. If you have a very athletic guy in there that does have a good jab when he's consistently using it, right? You get me? Boots got a offensive arsenal. He get in his bag. Roach is saying, uppercuts and I'm telling you, hooks. I'm telling you, Stanionis is there to be hit. He be on the line, coming behind that high guard at times too. That shit just not gonna work. I think he's gonna have to be a lot more creative than that against Boots. And I just don't know if he got that back. I haven't seen it. His fights typically look the same to me. He's a gutsy, just scrappy type of dude, right? He can box too, for sure, right? He gonna get in there, he gonna make it as tough as possible, but in doing so, he just doesn't have the type of style that goes in there and just have these clean performances where he don't go through the fire. He always gonna go through the fire. You get what I'm saying? If Maestre could put you through the fire a bit, but what he got going on with limited fights, I think Boots gonna do the same thing, but on a larger scale. So he might have the tougher victories, but that's a large part due to how he fight and approach fights, right? His style. Trey Skills, what it do, homie? Next gen was good with it. Definitely tough one, but he'll pull it off. Yeah, I'm just not sold on Boots' resume. Yeah, I mean, for me, right, what I've learned to how I've learned to look at things, the Butcher is it's not just the resume for me, right? We know for a fact that, when it's come to Boots, he's been a guy that's been turned down and if not turned down, then he's just not been given the opportunities to fight the guys that you might have wanted to see, till this point. But I think that the message is in how he performs, right? I think what you want to look for is his performance, is not so much the names, right? And then, at the same token, you want to see if he can do it against the absolute best names in his division. That's all he needs to do. And I think Stanionis being a champion, being an undefeated guy, tough, rugged guy, he can start with him, so to speak, right? He can start with him. And I think Brian Norman Jr. be another step in that direction, right? He can't control who's in his division. He can only try to fight the absolute best that his division has to offer. So I think he's right in the driver's seat to do that. So he might not have the craziest resume and name, so to speak, but we know for absolute fact that one of the main reasons that he ain't been in there with those guys because of the lack of the opportunities, not so much him turning them down. So, you know, resume ain't going to be the craziest when two of the biggest names, that being Bud and EJ, is now at 54, right? Your big fight that was once upon a time looked at as Virgil Ortiz is now at 54. So he kind of left with the crop of fighters that he left with. And good for him. You got guys like Brian Norman making back-to-back statements, holding on to his title, letting you know he ain't just no title holder or no belt holder. He a legit champion, and he gonna be around. So that's good for him. Now he got guys that, you know, are worthy opposition for him. Brian Norman, that's a real legit fight. No matter how it play out, Brian Norman, you could say he's arrived. He clearly arrived. Respect to him. Back-to-back performances, breakout, you know, statement, knockouts, smoking shit. Like, you gotta love it. That's the fight for them. You know what I mean? Got the guys like Barrios out there floating around, and then the Stanionis that he is fighting. So I think his run can respectfully start with Stanionis. And if he end up at Brian Norman's doorstep, that's great for boxing. 619, what it do? Opulent LDTV blessings, Brody. How you feeling? Shout out to my dog. Kano, what's good with it, bro? Oxygen, man. Fact just, I just don't think Stanionis is better than Karen. Right. Just likes the power to keep Boots off him. And the thing is, right, he has respectable pop and punching power, right? But at the same token, it's not devastating power. I wouldn't, you know, label Stanionis as a devastating puncher. Good puncher, solid puncher. Like, you know, with those eights, man, anybody could be hurt, right? But I just think Boots is a far better athlete, far better talent. It's just all about him putting it together on the night, not forcing nothing, letting it come to him, right? And just breaking his guy down, going to his body, being consistent there. You want to slow Stanionis down as much as possible and pick him off. And I think just stylistically and to add the type of athlete Boots is, this is his fight to lose. He can make this fight easier than what some people may think, but it's up to him. It's all in his approach. You know what I mean? Stanionis ain't coming to lay down and be no stepping stool, but shit is shit. When you just ain't the better guy, you ain't the better guy. And for him to beat Boots, in my opinion, of course, he's going to have a hell of a game plan that I'm just not sure that I've seen him execute in any of these fights that he's been in. And he don't have a ton of fights on top of that. And then you think inactivity. Now you're about to get in there with one of the best athletes, if not the best natural athlete in the division. You get what I'm saying? So he got his work cut out for him for sure. I just see the advantages being on Boots' side for sure. You know what I mean? Sasaki and Brian Norman, 50-50, who has a great resume. Yeah, it's tough, Cornelius. A lot of them. GM was good with it, but Boots unified, when we get less money, offered the first time. Who knows, man? That remains to be seen, man. Favor G's, what it do? Skills, what's good, bro? How you feeling? Man, that remains to be seen, man. I wouldn't know, but I would say definitely with Brian Norman solidifying himself and, you know, back-to-back statement wins, that shit matter. You know what I'm saying? He holding his own as well as Boots, right? So I just think that's the fight to make. Is right there for him, right? They've negotiated once. I don't see no reason why they can't negotiate again. You know, both teams is talking like that's the fight they want. You know what I mean? Boots is here to stay. He won all them belts. You know what I mean? And of course, he didn't want to overlook the guy that's in front of him. So he ain't going to be extra loud at this point about Brian Norman. But that shit is coming for sure, man. That got to be the fight. You know what I mean? Old money swag was good with it. Boots beat Lippians, former champion Clayton, Villa, and Delorme. Few up-and-comers in brutal fashion. That's a good point. He did. Boxing expert, what it do? Yeah, man. So, young guys, yeah, they definitely showed out. Brian Norman, man, I'm glad his name continuing to ring out, bro. The impressive fashion, bro. That's how you get your guy up out of there, bro. Where that, man? That's how you get your man up out of there. That's how you get him gone. B. Norman got get him gone. Start calling him, get him gone out this joint. Yeah, that is so disrespectful, bro.
There it is. Actually, to the back of the corner. 3, 4.
Let come out though. Check bro out though.
He don't
want to fight no more.
He don't want to be here. He doesn't.
Look. Hey yo. First of all, why B. Norman punch that man across the ring like that and then stand over the body, bro? Man, that man disrespectful, yo. Man, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it to see the young. Why you stand there and look at him like that? Punch that man across the ring like that. Yo, nah, bro. This need to be studied, man. We gonna talk about this. Hell nah. For the second fight, bro. For the second fight in a row, y'all, he disrespectfully standing over the bodies after he catch him. Do y'all remember how he did Santion? He squatted. Yo, he squatted. He had like the perfect shot, like him just squatting over the body. I'm like, B. Norman, cold. Then he proceeds to punch this man in the corner and just look at him. Then he got up. Buddy ass was like, damn, what was that? Yo, he had that look like, what was that? Like, he had a look like, bro, that definitely wasn't on the agenda. Why did he punch me like that? Dude looked confused. Like, did he just punch me like that? Yes. Was those regular punches or what? Bro went to looking like, man. Ref was like, yo, you want to continue? Bro was like, continue what? Continue. He like, nah, bro. Did you just see how he hit me? He had that look like, bro, I know you ain't just, he looked offended. Like, I know you didn't just ask me if I want to continue. After bro just punched me about 4 or 5 feet across the ring. Did he punch him? Did he punch him in the neutral corner? Punch bro ass in the neutral somewhere. Yo, B. Norman, wow, man. You gotta love that performance from him, man. Got to, man. That's how you get your work done. And we will acknowledge, I think he got buzzed early, but the reason I don't say hurt, because just because you get buckled don't mean you hurt, right? He wasn't like dazed. His eyes were still clear, but make no mistake, he got caught with a real shot, I think, up close to by the temple. And that's what those would do. Those are usually equilibrium shots. Those will put you down. So, credit to him for being in shape. And if you see the man calves, he got some big ass calves. So, he's strong, man. He got some power, man. And he weathered that and he gave back way better than he got. And look, it just didn't take that much. Third round, like he punched the fight out of him. He beat the fight out of Santion. He beat the fight out of him, bloodied him, beat the fight out of him. He couldn't go if he wanted to. And this guy had a choice. Yo, he punched the fight out of him. Like he hit him with a couple of them swift, boom, boom, boom. He got up. He like, what the hell? Nah, I'm cool, bro. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Bro said, I just got back. Man, I wasn't ready. Bro ass wasn't ready. He wasn't ready, y'all. Peace to the Queen Lisa. How you feeling? Man, shout out to my dog, Lewis 4500. Norman made him quit. Yo, that shit is just impressive. That's all, behind that TV, my brethren. What's good, bro? Did the jail pose and stood over buddy like the Undertaker. I'm telling you. Yeah, dude, they start rubbing his nose and face like, what the hell? The nerve, bro. He started looking at the ref like, bro, did you ask me to you fight him? He started looking like, did bro just ask me to fight him again?
There it is. Actually, to the back of the corner. 3, 4, 5. Derrick, look at me. 6, 7, 8. Derrick, look at me. He don't want to be here. You want to go? He don't want to be here. He doesn't.
Bro. Bro said in his mind, he like, look at me, bro. Man, get me out of here, bro. Call a fight. bro looking like, bro, you don't call a fight and get me the hell up out of here. And here fighting for my life. You talking about, do you want to continue? I want to continue living. Get me out of here. Somebody help. You ain't do what I'm doing. Bro said, bro looked over by his corner. He said, oh, y'all ain't gonna throw in the towel. Got you. Bet. He said, all right. I bet you I ain't going back out there. Bet you I ain't going back out there. Ref said, look at me. Man, he ignored the hell out of him. Like, yeah, all right. No eye contact, bro. You gotta get me up out of here, ref. See, that man punching with bricks, man. Man, that's funny, bro. That's hilarious, man. Punch that man across the ring, bro. Punch that man about 7-8 feet into the other corner, and then walked away. Oh man, that was the third round. So look, it's clear that a couple things, all jokes aside, that you learning with Brian Norman. I think his power, if you don't believe in it, I think is legit. I think he got legit heavy hands. I think he could hurt you. I think anybody getting there where he really could hurt you with the right shot. I think that's clear after these last couple performances for sure, right? Guys that never been stopped and none of that, you know what I'm saying? And he coming out here, brutal stoppages are just like, and you know, Santiago was brutal. This wasn't more brutal. This was like spectacular though. You know what I mean? It was like, it was clean. Get me? Like he had a decision to make. It didn't go deep enough, and it wasn't like a beat down per se, but he didn't even make it that long. So he came in here, you know, stand behind his jab and shit like that. Yo, it was fun. It was good to see, bro. You see Brian Norman learning, right? He tried to stay behind the jab, be focused, box. You know what I mean? Even when he took the shots, credit to him, y'all. When he took the shot, he got it back, but he got it back in a way that didn't, you know, put him in harm's way. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog Mike Mazak in that Cash App, always supporting the grind. Much love to my dog. Appreciate you. Shout out to Mike. But that's what I like, the way he got it done. You get what I'm saying? Like he could have been reckless and careless, could have got himself caught some more, but nah, he went and got his shot back the right way, setting it up, being patient, took his openings, clipped his guy, hurt him, and stayed on him. You know what I'm saying? He got buckled, weathered that, and just kept it moving. You know what I mean? 2 rounds later, he got his guy quitting in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Rethinking shit, he had it came back. I mean, you know, punch Quaver's ass in the corner somewhere. So just impressive, man. Impressive work from Norman as of late. And that's what I like to see, because in boxing, anybody can do it once. Anybody could come out there and have a really good performance, but it starts to become impressive when you can consistently do it. And right now he's building. These is 2 fights. You don't want to overstate them. These ain't like the best things that boxing got to offer, but these are tricky fights. Guys that know how to fight, that never been stopped, tough in their own right, get knockouts in their own right, can punch, right? You know what I mean? Not the lay down type of guys. And the way he made these statements is impressive for me. So I think rewarding him with a fight like that makes sense, right? I think reward boxing, but as well as the fighters. That's what they want. I mean, I ain't trying to skip the line for Boots, but I'm assuming, like, based on prior situations, that's the direction he going to head in. He don't got no picks. He want who got them straps. And I'm just saying that being that they had prior negotiations in the past, it shouldn't be that hard to kind of, you know what I mean, get that going again. It shouldn't be. It's not the end of the world being that they didn't make the fight the first time around, right? The fight still can be made. You know what I mean? So I'm all for it, man. I just want to see it. Shout out to my dog, man, the butcher, man, in the Cash App with the 10 piece. Much love, my brother.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your Jusdueboxing.
Shout out to the butcher, man. Much love, Brody. Appreciate that. So that's it, man. That's where I'm at, man. Time to be a trainer, become a cop, security guard, electrician. Yeah, them 2 spectacular, bro. The butcher back-to-back joints, back-to-back. So it just got his name buzzing for the right reasons, right? And like I always like to say, I don't want to overstate the wins and be like, oh, well, now he's unbeatable. Nah, it's not that. He's shining right now, though. He young, he learning, he getting his shit together, and let me just say it now. Dudes better fight him now. Anybody that feel like you got the ups on him, you more experienced than him, and any of that, you better fight him now. because he's starting to look like the guy that you continue to let learn and get experience and get better. He becomes more dangerous. It's clear as day. He got the mentality that he need to be in that division. He like to hurt you. You get what I'm saying? And he heavy-handed. He ain't got to load up and shit like that to hurt you. And he's a learning fighter. He's a coachable fighter. You see it. You seen him getting clipped early. And what did he do? He had that right hand glued to his chin after that. He made sure that shit didn't happen again. You get what I'm saying? Like he showed you in-fight adjustments, right? In the actual fight. Made that adjustment that was key because, like I said, I think had he kept getting clipped with that, especially early as the fight was, that wouldn't have been good for him, man. And it ain't about having a bad chin. You can't let nobody hit you that fresh within them first 3 to 4 rounds. You know, dudes is cracking. You know what I'm saying? So it was just good to see him go out there and do it the right way. Do it the right way. He didn't look sloppy. You get what I'm saying? He looked like he was in control of himself. He was like, you know what I mean? He weathered the little early storm and just punched on his man and took the fight out of him, man. That's what you love to see. You know what I mean? You just can't doubt what this guy is what he building right now. And I think when you're constantly building towards something and you already solidifying yourself as a champion, you building that momentum, you want to capitalize on that. And you want to make the best fights for yourself possible, right? Like he's surging right now. I think he looking his best at this point. You get what I'm saying? This is the consistency that people want to see from him to make him look like a legit threat to a guy like Boots. And I'm telling you now, the more he learned, the more dangerous he's gonna be. It's really starting to look like that. So whoever got intentions on fighting him and taking that title, you better do it sooner than later. Because it's a problem either way. But like I said, respectfully, the longer he learns, the more he's able to, gain the experience and polish those rough edges and shit like that, smoothing out the rough edges. He's just going to be a better fighter, a more threat, a more dangerous guy. Who's going to have to pull a Spence? I hope not. I hope he don't. I hope not. Every top 5 in every sanction anybody, somebody going to have to see him. He's got 54 after this fight. We know why. He better not, Trey. Nah, that's the one he want though. Because Boots' mind, he could put a stop to all of that. Brian Norman, the hype around him, right? That he's building respectfully. And the same thing for Brian Norman and his pops. They feel like, they can stop all that. The hype that's surrounding Boots. It's a fight that just has to happen. Both teams are super confident. Boots and Bozy, they super confident they could beat this kid. And on the flip end, they confident they could win. At least that's what they both saying respectfully as teams. So I'm all for it, man. He ain't going nowhere. Boots still got work to do, man. Like I don't think it's still gonna be hard to grab all the titles, but if you just look at it from this perspective, he already got one lined up. He just has to take care of business. What is that? April 12th. Just got to take care of business. Norman took care of his. I don't know who he's going to fight. You get what I'm saying? I think that fight is there for the making. Let's see what happened with him and Boots. And then I think Team Norman and Eddie Hearn need to get back to negotiating, bro, and get the people to fight. Get the people to fight. Everybody said it. Hey, Brian Norman got to take care of business, right? He can't lose this fight. What if he loses this fight? Oh, remember all the jokes. He fighting on a girl undercard and this and this and that. And he not even the main event. And he making less money. And he could have made 10 times more doing this. And all that is water under the bridge. It's garbage now. He made the decision that he made. Turned out to be the right decision. Why I say the right? Because he had the kind of performance that you want to have going into a Boots fight anyway. So an extra fight is always good. You get what I'm saying? Especially coming off a hand surgery. So even after this is him after a hand surgery and inactivity looking like this. So that's what you like, man. On to the next, man. I hope that next, like I said, Jerron Ennis, give us that 3-belt unification, man. Because I just don't see Boots losing to Stan Jonas. Even if the fight end up being tougher than I anticipate, that's cool. I won't overreact. I don't got Stan Jonas beating no Boots, bro. I just don't. I don't have him. He gonna have to do something special. He gonna have to do something really special to beat that man. And I just don't see that. I haven't seen it from him. So let's acknowledge that anything can happen. Upsets do happen. But like I said, if I'm just going off of what I've seen from Stan Jonas, that's not gonna beat Boots. He's gonna have to show me, and not just me, he's gonna have to show Boots and others at home in the boxing world something that we never seen from him. And without that, I just don't see too many cases where he beat him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to give him all the respect in the world as a fighter and a legit champion. And he ain't been the most active in the last couple of years. You see how the Virgil Ortiz fights fell out over and over and over. I think he fought Maestre last. That's just not the same, man. It's not the same level. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. I think this is Boots. It's up to Boots how he going to deal with this work. But like I said, he got to be motivated that the fact that Brian Norman went out there and shined the way he did. I know he want to make a statement himself and get to that fight. I know he want that fight because there's a lot of talk about duck this and who don't want this and who don't want that. And I feel like now is the time, bro. Can we rejuvenate the heavyweight? The welterweight division. Can we light a fire back at 147? Come on, you got guys like Tiger Johnson out there. He made his pro debut this past weekend too. He got a stoppage over a tough Castaneda that usually don't get stopped. You know what I mean? Tough guy usually take you to rounds and he'll push you. Tiger went out there, debut at 47 and stopped him. Impressive body of work, the way he put his punches together and stopped his guy to the body. That was another good fight. Look, he could become a player at 47 in given time. You get what I'm saying? Whether you like him or not, you got Ryan and Devin. They're going to be at 47. So you get what I'm saying? They ain't going nowhere. Norman ain't going nowhere. Boots is sticking around. He got smoke. That shit can light a fire back under 147 again. Can we make 147 and boxing great again at the same time? Can we do that? I think so, man. I think we just got to accept the talent that's there is the talent that's there. And if you look at it, if Groom, right, we got some real good athletes at 47, bro. They don't got to be Spence. They don't got to be Crawford. They don't got to be none of those guys. They just got to be them. Boots is Boots. I'm good with that. I mean, Stan Jonas, he is who he is, right? B. Norman, keep proving people wrong. So I love to see it, man. And let's see these guys mix it up. Could you imagine Ryan and think about that? Just the matchups. Ryan's, the Devins. You get what I'm saying? Remember, Bill Haney said one of his dream matchups was Devin Haney versus Boots. Remember he said that? I definitely remember. If y'all don't remember, I remember for y'all because he said it. He said it. So it's a lot of mixes and matches up that can be made at 47, and it's not going to be safe for the top guys. It's not going to be safe for the guys that call themselves the best in the world. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to prove it. 147 is now about to get back to the point where at the very, very top, you're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to go through some fire to be a champion. I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to like this new 47 right here. I'm starting to like this new 47. So you might go to 54. Yeah, Lee, what it do, homie? How you feeling? Good to see my guy in the building. What's good with it, Lee? Shorty said, asking what has Ennis done that Norman Jr. hasn't. Not much, bro. Not much. They're in the same position to me. Shelton for the most part. Motown, what it do, homie? That will be the king of 47. Boo's not around. Fight Josh Taylor in the UK and headline. That's something, yo. That's something. Josh Taylor in the mix. That's something. But nah, I'm loving this, man. Yeah, Boots ain't, he ain't thinking about 54 yet. So 54 gonna have to do what 54 does. But right here, right now, I think 47 is in a position to heat up. Make these fights. Normal last two components combined. 59-1. 40 KOs. I'm gonna stop both. Now that's impressive, bro. That's impressive, man. I ain't gonna lie. That's impressive, man. He getting it done. Shout out to my guy, Tay. He getting it done, bro. You better stop right chase. Devin got a cash with his ass. Yeah, man. That. He said it, though. He did say it. That was his dream fight, Boots and Devin. I was like, wow. But all things real. I mean, anything can happen while these dudes in the same weight class. But if I had to be honest, I don't think we ever gonna see that, though. But because I just don't see I see no advantages for Devin physically. I see none. And I think because of that just would be a bad fight stylistically. I think with Boots' speed, athleticism, the things he's able to do, you get what I'm saying? It's like imagine being in there with a guy that's every bit of an athlete as Ryan, even more. You know what I'm saying? Power in both hands, a real good offensive arsenal is just all bad for him. So I don't think we'll ever see it. John Norman got Boots. CJ Rich, my guy, what it do? That's the fight, man. I keep saying it, dog. That's the fight right there. That's the fight, Norman and Boots. Because Norman is making people a believer. At least I don't want to speak for y'all. I've been a believer, and he's just making me more of one, y'all, respectfully. That's what I'm saying. You continue to build off those performances. That's all you can do. And this, again, y'all, this is coming off an injury and some inactivity. This is coming off a hand surgery. He looks sharp, bro. Looks sharp coming off a hand injury. So you hating on Devin and Boots. You never fought nobody with Devin style. I'm telling you, it's crazy, Next Gen. They do take that route, but I wholeheartedly mean this respectfully. I'm just going off of what I see from those guys. And what I see, I don't feel like he'll cause enough trouble for Boots through a 12-round fight where he'll be safe. I think there'll be too much danger presented if they were to fight each other. For me, he'll have to fight a very safe, strategic fight, and I just don't know if he'll do that because he's gonna engage. That man got heart. He ain't gonna get in there and just play it completely safe, you know. So I don't know. That fight can get tricky and dangerous real fast. Stressed out boxing, what it do, homie? It's like a big money fight. Boots a legacy fight. But who will be the A side? Probably Boots, because he going, assuming he wins, bro, he'll have the 2 belts, the Butcher. You get me? Assuming he got the belts. But Shelton make a good point when he say would have Boots done that Norman hasn't, or vice versa. Like, they at similar points if you think about it in terms of competition, maybe some names here or there, but it's nothing too crazy, right? So the fight, I think, is better on paper than people realize. I really do. I think it's a really good, intriguing matchup because they both got strengths. They both do things well. And I think Norman has the physicality as well as he's constantly growing in the IQ department to be able to test Boots. It'll be a good fight for him. Like, I don't look at it like, I think at one point, y'all, it was safe to say that people looked at Boots and Norman as maybe a mismatch. Maybe they looked at that as a mismatch, right? The way they talked about it. Like, people made it seem like Norman had no chance, no shot at hell at beating a guy like Boots. I think that's kind of different now. I think the thought process surrounding that is a bit different, right? I think Boots, Norman has changed minds. I think he changed some people's minds with the way he's been fighting. So it's just all about them striking while the iron hot. Whether they do decide to pit stop over there with the Jinsaki guy. I mean, I heard him say something about that fight is going to be worth millions or some M's or something like that. So I don't know, but I don't know. The obvious fight is the one we all want to see. You know what I mean? Robert, what's good with it, fam? For some, yeah, man. And rest are waiting for Boots to get out the way. That's the thing. Boots ain't going nowhere. That over there, you got Bill Haney throwing his name in the hat. You know what I mean? Rude exposure. What it do, man? I just saw I could get the honor to call Norman out right after the fight. Yeah, probably just made his way some type of way, man. I mean, somebody probably okayed it, bro. Somebody probably okayed it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad thing though, because look at it this way: the Butcher, if for whatever reason the Boots fight don't come to fruition, then maybe that's a possibility for him. Maybe that's a good maybe that's what he said, shout or something like that. So I don't know what he'll stand to make, but maybe that's a good money fight for him if he don't get Boots. So it's always good to keep your options open too, especially as a young fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen. We've seen the way the negotiations stalled out with Boots and Team Norman the first time. So, you know what I mean? It's always good to keep your options open. Yeah, I said that. I did say that, Tay. I did point that out earlier in the week. That was his only loss. You know what I mean? The cut 47 get tough eventually for Boots. Yeah, man. I wonder how long, he'll be there, but I think he at least got some fights left there for sure. So, I mean, I don't know. I wonder. Norman look like he good at the weight Norman be in shape, man. So I don't know, man. He gonna be there too. I just think it's gonna get to the point where 147 is not gonna be safe no matter who move out. You get what I'm saying? But as of right now, as the foreseeable future, I see all these dudes campaigning at 47, and none of the guys I think we mentioned today are moving anywhere. You know what I mean? Boots is moving closer and closer to his goals by the day, right? By the fight, should I say? By the fight. You know what I mean? This fighter moving one step closer to what he want, right? A win will make him a unified champion. You got Brian Norman that respectfully held his belt the right way. You got that fight. You got a Barrios. Like you got options. You got opportunities to make these fights and snatch those titles. And I just hope Eddie Hearn could put him in the right position. I hope everybody is willing to play ball, man. I really do, because if there's no way, no matter how dangerous you think Boots is as a fighter, he got 2 belts. You got to run it, especially if you got one of them. You have to fight him. What else you gonna do? Got to fight him, bro. You know what I'm saying? So got to. Still got Jalil Hackett at 47. Yeah, Jalil was there, man. Jalil gonna get back, man. I know a lot of people counting him out too. I know how that go. He gonna get back. See Barrios in the mix too. I ain't mad at that. Me too, Aisha, because he is a good fighter. I do think he's in a interesting space too, Aisha Barrios, because you see how tough that fight looked for him in the back end with Ramos, right? He just, man, that what was that, a draw on top of that? That was a rough ass fight, man. I think he makes good fights for either Boots or Norman, but I think both of those fights, if he fought either one of those guys, it'd be tough. I thought the most winnable opponent out of the champions for Barrios was Stanionis, and that's Boots' work now. So, you know, after that, now you'll have Boots. With respect to Stanionis, you'll have Boots, Brian Norman, and Barrios. And somebody gotta want to fight each other after that. You get what I'm saying? No, I don't want to see people just hold the belts, man. Fight for them. Put them belts on the line, bro. Champion at 47 could see Devin beating. And that still would be tough. Even that'd still be tough because Barrios got some thump, man. You know what I mean? Barrios got some thump. Yeah, he did. He had to dig deep, way deeper than I thought, too, Aisha. He made that fight a little tougher than it needed to be. A lot tougher. Because he was boxing well. Remember how he was boxing early? Remember them first 4 to 5 rounds or so? He was boxing beautifully. And then it just like something switched and he started getting hit. I'm like, man, Abel Ramos started making a push. He was trying to win. He was definitely trying to win. Yeah, they all tough fights for him, GM. I just think for me, Stanionis is the most beatable for me. If Devin was to fight any of the champions, I think Stanionis is the most beatable style-wise, right? I think Barrios can box, right? And you can't count him out. Big, tall frame, not an easy guy to deal with. Tough Azteca warrior, you know what I mean? I don't think he's easy to deal with. And Brian Norman, that's self-explanatory, and the same thing with Boots. So I think Stanionis would be the most susceptible to being beat by Devin Haney for me because of the styles. You know what I mean? In a way, Devin can box and move box, keep him on the outside. I don't think he got no crazy-ass punching power to worry about. Nothing like that. He is a dog. He gritty, but I think he can be outboxed. You get what I'm saying? I definitely think he can be outboxed. Way better than Barrios. You think Stanionis is better than Barrios? I just think Barrios. That's that tough fight. Tay, you think about that last fight, like, man, Barrios is getting touched. I know, but I don't know if Stanionis is better than Barrios to me. I think Barrios got better fights on the resume for sure. I don't know. I like Barrios. I like what Barrios can do better. I do, as far as his boxing ability. For you say, yeah, Stanionis sitting around like 15 fights, 15 fights, I think. But we got to know. I mean, you never know until you get in there. But if I'm just looking at what they've shown me, man, style-wise, I think he gets hit the most, and he's a come-forward guy. He's not really no tricky type of dude, right? What you see is what you get. He's going to come forward. He's going to throw that jab. That jab is heavy. He's going to try to work the body, grind you down, and wear you out and stop you. But, I mean, he's not a big KO guy either, so I don't know. I don't know, man. Stanionis can be beat to me. I think Boots might style on him come April. You say you don't think it's harder in it? I mean, shit, it better be Tay. He a champion. He a whole champion. Direction beat nobody. Utayeb beats Barrios. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Barrios really can box, though, man. I think he's slept on, bro. I think Barrios is slept on. I do. It's funny that I'm saying that. I think he's a little slept on. They're a little more skillful than what people give him credit for, bro. So I don't know. Utayeb beats Barrios, but look, these are all good fights, bro. They're all good fights. They're all good fights, but you just never know, man. And then listen, that's why we need to see him, man. You know, that's the interesting thing about 47. If you mix enough of the upper echelon of 47 up, you get some interesting matchups, bro, and some wins and losses. He said Barrios on that Omar Figueroa juice. You're a fool, bro. Cal Cool, bless his family. How you feeling, bro? You're a fool, man. Man, I'm telling you, but Barrios is a good fighter, bro. Good fighter, but he definitely. I want to see how he looked after this fight with Ramos, because that was tough. But sometimes tough fights happen, and if you really know Ramos' background and his MO, he's known to give a guy a tough fight. Even with as many losses as he got, he's known to push you and give you a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. He still got that belt, man. It was a draw. He still get to hang on to the belt, but you know, I know his, people kind of think he on the downside. So we'll see, man. It was only one fight. You talking about Maestre? Gabriel Maestre? I think you talking about Maestre. Yeah, I think that's what you talking about, Tay. He the one that had beat my guy, man. Trevon Marshall. He had beat Trevon Marshall, upset him, stopped him. You fight, stop bullshit. Beat stands and fight Norman Jr. Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's what you want to see, bro. That's what you want to see. Shout out to Greg Hackett. He said he don't think they're gonna do it. Boots and them. He said, I mean not Boots and them. Brian Norman and them. He said he think they're gonna want to hang on to the title a little bit longer. They might want to go another route. They might not want the Boots fight. Barrows gave Tank a tough fight, and Thurman. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Butcher, you can't count him out, bro. He pushed Thurman, man. He did hurt Thurman to the body in that fight, too. You know what I'm saying? He stood up to all them shots. He was getting punched on. And I'm telling you, that's just that simple, bro. I think it ain't no better fight to make for them, man. And the division ain't that deep now, So champions, I just want to start seeing them fights. Those guys mix it up. If you've been a supporter of Boots throughout the years, then you've seen him in situations where if he get the opportunity, it's only up for him. So. Yeah, crazy. Man, I'm telling you, Ryan against a Boots or a Devin or a Boots or Norman and Devin, those matchups are crazy, bro. Top Rank gonna put somebody on Brian Norman them. I heard talk about Eddie not boxing him and with a Boots fight. Yeah. I heard him speaking about that. I think he was talking about. I don't even want to say what I think. Like, he said what he said, but the way I interpret it for the most part, right? Just like you ain't going to kind of like, force him to do nothing, so to speak. But I guess he feel like he got some say-so too. That's what it is at the end of the day. He said something like, I'm a grown-ass man and something like that. Just think at the end of the day, he feel like they should have some leverage in negotiations. They do. He say he a champion just like dude is. That's what he was saying. So, the end of the day, man, I just hope that these wins are able to, put him in a position to get whatever money it is he's looking for. Because I'm gonna just call it what it is. For Boots and Norman not to happen will be a black eye on boxing. they'll be doing boxing a disservice if they don't make that fight. So, Brian crushed Devin. That's a tough fight for him. That's a tough fight for him, GM. That's a tough fight for Devin, bro. The way Brian Norman fight. And then soon it don't let him clip you. Soon as he do, he getting right to it. He get right to it. We don't play no kind of games. Like, that's a tough fight physically. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think it'll be smart for him to work his way into 47, right? The way he doing it, I guess, get the Ramirez fight. That Ryan fight gonna be a real test for him too. You get what I'm saying? That shit could go a number of different ways for him. That shit could go a number of different ways. He said try to force 1 point. Top rank against Brian Norman Jr. Homecoming against Speedy. Speedy been out the mix, man. I don't know where he been, bro. I don't know where he been. I don't know where Speedy been. He gonna take his head out the set of the line. I don't know where Speedy been. But yeah, man, that to me was one of the better fights of the night, man. I appreciated Norman's performance, yo. He continued to show growth and improvement, just subtle improvements from fight to fight. And now he in the driver's seat to make a unification if he plays cards right? You know what I mean? Them two teams got to come to the table again, and they got to be able to see eye to eye, bro. They have to. That fight is a must. That's must-see TV. Brian Norman versus, Jerron Ennis is must-see TV. Speedy fighting that middleweight in the TCL. Too far-fetched at this point. Oh, yeah, he's still in the TCL, bro? Damn. Well, we're going to keep rolling, though. We're going to keep rolling. So that was one of the fights of the night. Like I said, man, Brian Norman and still stops Derrick Cuevas in the third round. Punched the fight out there, man. He ain't want no more smoke. Brian Norman goes on to retain his title and much earned victory, and sky's the limit for him, man. He just got to keep working, bro. Now it's time for us to watch to see what Boots do, because I feel like that we know the obvious fight they make, right? See Boots versus Norman in October. I hope so. Yeah, man. And since then he cleaned it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He cleaned it up a bit, so that's good. Norman wants more now. Yeah, shout out to Tunnel Vision. He do. He said if they don't pay Norman it's $2 million, somebody else gonna eventually real soon. Maybe Japan fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And ultimately, real quick, I'll say this before I move past that. Initially Eddie Hearn didn't want to pay him what he was looking for. It was all types of reasons why he shouldn't have got what he was looking for. But at the end of the day, Eddie Hearn ended up not paying Brian Norman Brian Norman, Team Norman more money for a unification for his fighter, and ended up having to overpay essentially, or pay more, however you want to look at it, for that Karen rematch. If you just did the homework, then you'll see that's what happened there. So hopefully this time around, with both guys picking up extra wins under their belt, even more so with Boots solidifying another belt, they can get on the same page, because that needs to happen. How could you not want one fight that can put you in a position to get 3 belts if you Ryan Norman? You get what I'm saying? And Boots, like you putting in the work, but you want that. You want to complete doing what you doing, bro. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog Damon, man. He said salute to my guy. Just had a ball chip fight calling party, man. We enjoyed it, man. It was fun, man. See why Norman Sr. be talking for him. Listen to you. So when Norman knocked out Cuevas, it was classic. Your response? I was enjoying it, bro. That's fun. Nothing like that boxing energy, bro. I'm telling you, it get crazy. I love to see him put him away like that. And just the way he quit, like, I loved it, man. I loved it, man. So on to the next, man. He handled what he got to handle. We're going to see what they got next for him. But we're going to keep rolling before we get to Inoue. You said is it true Inoue coming to States? Real quick, pit stop. This was Inoue, y'all. Y'all didn't see this with Inoue. I thought y'all would have seen this by now. Where is it? He called out. I don't even know if you want to say called out. He challenged Junto Nakatani for a fight, bro. He spoke in, his language, but here it goes.
1年後の東京ドームでここ日本ボクシングを盛り上げよう。
So you see that right there. He pretty much challenged him for a fight in Tokyo or something to that effect. In the caption, it said he challenged him to a fight in Tokyo or something like that. So I watch it, you know. I support it, you know, for sure. That's the fight that people been asking for them to make. So that wouldn't make him in the States. I think the fights you talking about referring to in the States, I think didn't he have a fight coming up in December or something that's supposed to be in the States? I forget, but I don't care where that fight is at. I'm getting up. I don't care how early it come on. I'm watching that one. That's must-see TV. I don't give a damn where they fight at, bro. I'm watching that. That's must-see TV, bro. We know what to expect from Inoue. We know what Junto Nakatani bring. That's a clash that need to happen. I know that wasn't English out, but the caption said, you know, he called him out for, or he challenged him to a fight in Tokyo. You know what I mean? Hey, what it do, homie? Care about Inoue? He's too little to challenge anyone that I care to see him fight. Now that Nakatani is the one, though. Shout him and Junto is the one. He said, I got Junto sending him out. You know, the States against the bump, but not Scoop. You know how that be. When he fighting this year, Vegas, yeah. That's what I think it is. And I forget who the opponent was. Was it? Is he fighting Ahmed? I forget, but forget. Bam, that guy too. He's another one. But that was him challenging Junto. So that he entertained the fight that people were saying they wanted to see. A little while ago, Inoue was telling Junto he'd fight him if he beat his brother. Tacoma Inoue or something like that, I think his name is. His brother ended up losing. His brother ended up losing. Nakatani won his fight. So I guess that plan went to, you know, they scrapped that plan. But obviously you could see from that little interaction that fight is still, you know, something that they looking to do. So I'm for that one. Junto is a real fighter, man. If he beat him, all respect to him. If he knock him out, all respect to him. But I think that'd be a fight as long as it lasts for sure. Because Junto kind of long too, man. He could box with it too, man. It'd be a good fight to watch, huh? Yeah, I'll try to stay up and watch. Sheldon, that would be a good one, bro. I don't think you'll be disappointed in that one, yo. I don't know. I ain't saying you ain't watched Nakatani, but if you haven't, definitely check Buddy out, man. He be smoking some shit, man. He be smoking shit. Nakatani is serious. I mean, Inoue versus Cardenas May 4th. Appreciate you, Cal. That's who he fighting. Cardenas. Why did they mention Ahmed? Junto got great inside game. Yeah, man, that's just a real challenge. Somebody that he feel like he actually could win. He ain't gonna get in there just being another opponent. He's not gonna lay down and just cooperate. Junto can punch. He got one of the, I think, knockouts of the year against one of the Maloney brothers. I forget which Maloney brother he fought, but that was one of the worst knockouts I've seen. I mean, he flatlined. It was a one punch KO too. So Nakatani got some thump, man. He can crack, man. He can crack, so he can box as well. So it's just, that's a fight that obviously they looking to make. I hope they give it to us because it's a good one. Michael Bay was what it do on me. I was good with it. He's right about Norman. Easy work. Farmer feel bad for him. I think he should retire. He had a great career. He knows he can get a decision. Yeah. By his name. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he won Saturday either. Zoom verse was good, Brody. How you feeling? Yeah, man. Norman, on to the next now, man. But you also had Shushu Carrington on this card, bro. And Shushu showed out as well, man. He another one. That we gotta look forward to. And look, he called out Cool Boy, man. Shushu want that smoke with. That was so disrespectful, bro. My goodness. Put the Beats by Dre on that man. Day was good with it. Anyway, MJ fighting in September. So I was mentioning. Oh, is that what I seen? Okay. So I wasn't tripping there. Kirk Douglas, what it do, homie? How you feeling? Shout out to my dog Zoom, man. Also, things that paid you. We gonna get to him too. So look, Shushu went out there and cooked Enrique Vivas, and in spectacular fashion to me. He another one. That was a statement win. he put 26 on notice, bro. He made it clear as to what he wants.
All y'all champions, stop ducking, man. I'm #1. Come see me. Next fight, I'm not waiting no longer. Let's just step up to the plate. I know some of y'all are fighting. Well, one of y'all are fighting. 2 of y'all maybe. Listen, let's get this working. I want to fight. Sign the contract.
So look, man. I mean, look, he's speaking just like a fighter's supposed to. I don't think his call outs are in vain. With much respect to, Cool Boy, that's our guy too. We rock with boxing. We just want to see great fights. He was right. He is top 5 in all of the sanctioning bodies. He really is. He #1 in 2 of them. One of them that he's #1 in is the WBC, and that's the strap that Cool Boy holds. If I'm not mistaken, shout out to my guy LetsBuild. I thought the fight that they fought last night was it a WBC final eliminator? I thought it was. So if I'm not mistaken about that, then you see why he would call out Cool Boy. So it's not a clout chase. It's not him just like saying shit. It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? For him to mention him based on where he ranked at in the WBC. So it's a good fight. I don't know if it will happen next because I'm hearing some rumblings about Cool Boy possibly fighting Shakur Foster. If that happens, that's another great fight. I ain't tripping no way. But, look, he said he'll fight whoever. Any of those guys that's down there that's holding the belts. They asked him about Rafael Espinoza. Say he'll fight his tall ass too. Say he'll chop that tree down. So he just got the energy that you want from a fighter. Tim Layton, what it do, bro? How you feeling? So, and he said nothing wrong. I love the energy. It's all about opportunity for him. He #1 in 2 of the sanctioning bodies. I think what is it? #1 and 2? Is he like #4 and 1? And I forget his other ranking, but he's inside of 5 in all of the sanctioning bodies. You know what I'm saying? So he should get a title fight. I think he about due. It was a final eliminator for the WBC, I believe. So he already won there, so it makes perfect sense why he will be calling for Cool Boy. You know what I mean? Reef, what it do, homie? But if Cool Boy take the fight against Shakur Foster, I don't think nobody gonna bat an eye. I think that's another great matchup. Either guy could win. It's a 50-50 type of fight. And that's what we all about, seeing them best guys fighting the best guys. You know what I mean? Cool Boy was a fighter just counted out not too long ago as well. He took 1 loss and was counted out after that. He been proving people wrong. So he always took tough fights. You know what I mean? He fought about 8 or 9 undefeated guys already in his career, Cool Boy. So he's no stranger to a challenge. If he, like I said, him challenging Shakur Foster wouldn't surprise me not one bit. But if that, for whatever reason, that fight doesn't come to fruition, you do got a young, hungry, Shakur Carrington that is #1 in the WBC. And I don't think nothing else makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, make the fights, make the right fights. You get what I'm saying? He hungry. He respect to all those dudes he just want to fight. And if he can't beat them, then he'll learn that day. But right now, I think it's a good fight to make. Shakur is sharp, man. He's smart. Keep getting better. He's not as young as everybody else is. So he's trying to get his opportunity sooner than later. Like yesterday, he's trying to fight. So, see. You see the announcer brought it to his attention. Who next? We got nothing like that from the Zonas of Peters win. Oh, yeah, we're going to get to them, too, for sure. He said Mr. Ozempic might be a little difficult. Cal said he on that Ozempic. Man, bro. He is, man. Rafael Espinoza. He is, man. He is. Please talk about that. Easy. Easy's a pro versus with no experience. They are all professionals. Stop saying that easy. What's that? Stop saying what's easy. So we got some fights to be made, yo. Got some fights. Cool. Cool Boy got choices, man. He got options. You know what I mean? Entertain the fight with Shakur, like I'm hearing. If he stay put where he at, then you got an opportunity to get you, or you could give opportunity to Bruce Carrington, and hopefully everything go according to plans, bro. But on 26 is gonna heat up. If Cool Boy moves up to 30, that makes that division that much more interesting. So we're gonna see, man. These dudes gotta mix it up at some point. You know what I'm saying? Gotta mix it up at some point. Everybody can't say they're the best without fighting each other. Shoot, bow to him, man. I think he was just trying to be respectful, but Shushu won't smoke with all of them, man. You know, he a respectful dude. He was raised right, rude. That's all. You know what I mean? Shushu was raised right. You know what I mean? He got a little, you know, he got manners. That's all. He a good kid, but in that ring, all bets is off. Shushu beating ass, bro. You get what I'm saying? In the ring, he beating your ass. You get me? Easiest fight to make and probably the biggest statement. I mean, look, it's not a bad fight. It's the Grandy. What it do? Dula Mason with smoke Zapa. Think he would too. I think he'd chop his ass right up. Unfortunately, we just won't get to see it though. But Zapa ain't that, man. But yeah, Shushu, man, another good showing for him, man. Stoppage, statement win. Let's see what's next for him. I mean, he performed the way he was supposed to. Got hit up just a bit, but he responded well, and he got his guy up out of there. It's another statement win, man. That top rank card was damn good. Like I said, Tiger Johnson went out there, made his pro debut, got a stoppage over Castaneda. Emiliano Vargas, same deal. He went out there and got a stoppage. Emiliano, man, that's another thing. Emiliano snuck to 140, y'all. I didn't know this. That fight Emiliano just had Saturday was at 140, so he snuck up to 140. Like, is that a permanent thing? Because if he up at 140, that shit make 140 that much more interesting. That kid is up there at 40, and I don't see why he would take the one off and come back down. I mean, I don't see what the reason for that would be. So if Emiliano Vargas is up at 40, man, that's fun for boxing, bro. It's fun for boxing, man. And who else, man? Tiger Johnson, 47 debut. And aside from that, we had the main event, which was the ladies that ran it back. Sandy Ryan. Yeah, he snuck up to 140 next gen. He snuck up there. Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer was another good fight in the rematch. Michaela Mayer won more convincingly than she did the first time, in my opinion. I think she just got Sandy Ryan's number. She the better fighter. I think if they was to fight again, it'd be the same result. So she got her victory and got up out the way, kept her WBO strap at welterweight, and she on to the next, man. And the cart before the horse. Let's see these fighters fight before we say they're gonna win easy. You know, it's force of habit, bro. Force of habit, Eric. You know, everybody do it. You know, say something gonna be easy. Sometimes it do though. You know, but you know, some of these fights do end up being easy. Shit, Brian Norman made that shit look a little easy Saturday, didn't he? Miliano, all those dudes in top rank was chopping they work up, handling they work pretty easily, pretty respectfully. You know what I mean? They did what they had to do. So it was an overall successful card, man. Good event, man. The ladies put on, man. Michaela Mayer is a dog, man. I love the way she put her punches together, man. She's a well-schooled fighter, and she just gonna make a good women's champion, period. You know what I mean? Sandy Ryan, I'm pretty sure she'll be back. She's still a good fighter, but she just can't beat Michaela Mayer. So maybe she'll find another challenge than somebody else, but she ain't gonna beat Michaela. Yeah, my B Norman Blaze, he made it look easy for sure. For sure, man. He's in there. And he took a little heat, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say he got hit, you know what I mean? He got tested a little bit, but he got through it. And that's what you're supposed to do. You had one of the best performances on the card. And then you had Emmanuel Chance as well, making his pro debut. And he went out there and got a unanimous decision, won every round. He was sharp, impressive, picked his shots well, just went through the gears. You know what I mean? You can obviously see young in the game, still learning, but you can see the talent. You can see the potential. It was a good fight for him. Good fight. You know, he out of Jersey, East Orange, New Jersey. He be in that camp with Shakur and the rest of those fighters from Jersey, the Raymond Fords and all those guys. So he's another good fighter, man. That top rank guy. So we'll see how he turn out, but I think he's gonna have a bright future. Him and his brother both good. But let's talk about this Golden Boy, this fight with Tevin Farmer, man. That everybody was talking about. I see some people talking about this being a robbery for Tevin Farmer this past weekend. I don't think so. I think this fight was a sloppy fight by both of them. I think he looked a lot better in the first fight. And I don't know if Father Time was in the ring that night or what, but he just didn't look good. You know what I mean? Not Saturday. If you want to make the case that he won, it would, for me, I can't tell y'all how to say it. For me, it would be the first fight, if anything. But that second fight, nah. He got outworked too much, and I think he was injured or something. He looked hurt. He looked like he hurt, like his hand, arm. I don't know. He just looked injured. He looked off point. His balance was looking compromised at a certain point, and he looked gassed in this fight. He didn't look as good as he did in the first one to me. He did like rally and like, you know, have some moments real late in the fight where it looked like he hurt Zepeda a bit, but that was about it. He just didn't have enough moments throughout the fight for me. And Zepeda was just, he won. He was winning the rounds, but it was sloppy. I wasn't impressed with the way he was fighting. It just didn't look like much to me. You know, like I was like, bro, I expect more from him. And it just didn't look good. It was sloppy. He was just going there, balls to the walls, throwing a lot of punches. He just didn't look good. I didn't like what I was seeing with Zepeda at all. I just didn't like it. It looked sloppy. But, you know, he was wearing Tevin Farmer down. Tevin Farmer kept having that issue with the twitch. He kept having a little issue with the twitch that we now know is, you know, he came out recently, I think some hours ago, was it yesterday or earlier today? And he said the reason that he got that twitch is not neurological. He said he got Tourette syndrome or something like that. That's something we didn't know. So I guess that answers the question to everybody that was wondering why he got that little tick or twitch or whatever it is with the head. He said it's from him having Tourette syndrome. So that's unfortunate, but he's been fighting with that all his time, which is impressive. But he just didn't have his best showing Saturday. Neither did Zepeda. Zepeda looked sloppy as hell. He looked uncoordinated. He just looked overly aggressive. He looked like he was trying to knock Farmer out. And it looked like he came close, but ultimately, you know, Farmer hung in there. He gave some really good shots. Like I say, he pushed real hard down the stretch, but he didn't look like he had it in him. He just had a gas tank and stuff needed. He got outlanded and out hustled in that fight. You know what I mean? Got outlanded and out hustled. Had an injured elbow, elbow, hand, yeah. He was, yeah. I mean, so Zepeda, I expected more from Zepeda, right? This is no slight or shade to Farmer. I just don't think he won Saturday at all. You know, he didn't have his best night. They both just didn't look good. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's a tough loss for him, man. I don't know where he go. Maybe he should go back to 30. You know, maybe he should go back to 30. Maybe 35 just a little too big. You know what I mean? Too much. And my bro was talking about that to me, so maybe that's the case. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe he just I just would say he just looked bad, you know? Like, I don't like the trash fighters, but he looked bad. They didn't look good at all. They just didn't. They styles didn't mesh the same way it did the first fight. The first fight looked totally different. It was entertaining all the way throughout. This fight was entertaining in spots, but it just, from a coordination and like execution standpoint, it looked sloppy. So I expected more from Zepeda. He got over 30 fights. I just don't know why he looked so off like that. And he had an injured guy in front of him. He should have been able to do more. He wasn't. You know, you got a dude that's in there actively, you know, dealing with Tourette syndrome, and, you know, he got this little twitch or tick or whatever you want to call it, keep looking up. And, you know, you would think you would be able to take advantage of the fact that he was injured, elbow, hand. I don't know if he rolled his ankle at one point in the fight. He just wasn't good. He wasn't in good shape. You know what I'm saying? And my bro also pointed out, you notice his lady had climbed up on the apron after the fight was over. Not saying she don't normally do it, but she was up there. She was like, looked like she was really concerned about him too. So I don't know. He said he don't got no neurological issues, which is great. So that's good for him. But ultimately, I think 35 is going to be a lot for him. He obviously can compete up there, but at the point that he's at, he want to win, right? If he's going to keep fighting, he don't want to just compete. And I just think maybe 35 might be a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Might be a bit much. But speaking of Zepeda, Farmer won the first fight. To me, I think so. I definitely think so. I definitely thought he won the first one. He said it was the cook just to pay the coming down. Yeah, man, it was unfortunate. But I thought he could have won the first one. For sure. The second time around, he might have had a better chance, but he was hurt, definitely. Nah, he just throw a lot of punches, Shelton. And he can be dangerous for people that can't handle that kind of pressure, right? Somebody coming forward throwing that many punches. Guys usually don't have, the answers to get out of the way consistently, right? And eventually the pressure will get to him and wear him down. I think the elite level guys will find a way to deal with him. And I think it's a reason why after the fight, he didn't mention fighting Shakur Stevenson. That's why I got in the thumbnail, no Shakur, because I don't see it happening. Jordan, what it do, homie? I don't see it happening at all. I don't see that fight coming to fruition. I don't see them dudes fighting after what I seen Saturday. No, I think they just gonna keep using his name when it's convenient. I hope I'm wrong, yeah, I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not confident that the fight happens. I'm not 100% that it's not, but I'm close. You get what I'm saying? I'm not confident at all. Just given how he looked, I just feel like had he looked better, maybe and actually spoke his name after the fight, I would feel differently. But the fact that he looked that way, they didn't speak his name, I just don't feel like after a performance like that, especially when you had back-to-back performances that was in question, I don't think your next bet is you jumping in there with Shakur now. I could be wrong, which I hope I am, but I just don't see it. I'm not optimistic at this point, for the most part, that fight is going to happen due to the ways it pay to look. And I think that's very telling. I think if he was in there with an elite level guy, like a younger, fresher guy, respected Tevin Farmer, a younger, fresher guy, I think that fight looks different. A lot different, right? He looked very sloppy. It was a lot of openings. He just executed very poorly, So I don't see them rushing to make that fight. I think Shakur, if him and his team, they already should be looking to fight somebody else, because I don't think that's the guy that's going to be looking to fight him. I don't have he not speaking on it. It's the same shit every fight. Before they fight is Shakur this, Shakur that. Then his team go in these interviews and they say weird ass statements like, yeah, he got offered to fight for May 4th. Like, bro, why nobody fighting May 4th? Get that shit out of here. If y'all don't fight Shakur next, I don't think y'all ever fight him. And it just is what it is. I think he embarrasses you. I think he totally, thoroughly outclasses you. It's starting to look like that. I'm starting to feel that way. And this is what it is. Maybe he could prove me wrong. Anything can happen. This dude do throw a lot of punches. He has had better performances than he did Saturday. But I think against a talent like Shakur, he got the ability to make him look very similar. You know what I'm saying? Very similar to what he just looked this past Saturday. So for those reasons right there, Oscar ain't jumping, kicking, and screaming to make that fight. Keyshawn knocks his block off. Keyshawn will beat him up too. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know who they're gonna put him in there with. I think they're gonna pad his record. I really do. Respected Tevin, but I think they're gonna go in another direction that's not Shakur Stevenson, and that sucks for boxing. Put on fighting about make him. Yeah. You better believe Tevin Farmer was an unfamiliar, they didn't think he was going to test Zapa the way he tested him in these fights. They didn't think that. They didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? They thought they had an older southpaw that he probably could get out of there, and it didn't happen. And Tevin Farmer ended up testing his ass. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who's Zapa going to look to fight next, but I know Shakur better be making plans of fighting somebody else, because I don't think it'll be him. And yeah, it ain't nowhere to go, bro. He got over 30 fights next gen. What else do? You get what I'm saying? Unless he do that, unless he pull a Golden Boy special and put them two together, but I doubt that. You know what I mean? Ozell, you know how I go. You remember Zepeda almost lost to again. I forgot who that was. He almost lost to a run-of-the-mill dude. Typing all kinds of entire show. Yeah, facts. Tevin Farmer trilogy would be nasty work. Hey, Jordan, they do that, man. We're going to jump somebody, bro. We already in need of rematch, but Tevin Farmer deserved it. We didn't need it, but Tevin Farmer deserved it, so we respected it and supported it. But a third one would be a bit much. Somebody got to pay the price. So like I said, for me, I don't like to say fighters are scared. I just think people got plans and people go with plans. And Zepeda seems like he allowed his team and them to handle that for him. I don't think he picks his opponents. I think they do. And I think he trains for him and beats them. So like I said before, if Oscar De La Hoya was to say, yo, Shakur, that's what's next, I think Zepeda would be like, cool. But if he say, you know, Joe Blow is next, I think Zepeda going to be like, cool. You get what I'm saying? So make of it what you will. Yeah, you could take the onus and be like, bro, that's the fight to make. I want to be a champion. I want to fight the champion. I'm number one or wherever he ranked at. I just don't know what the deal is, but that's how I see it. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt as a fighter. I ain't going to say he's scared or nothing, right? But I'm going to just say I think he goes with the plans of his team. So whatever they pick, that's what he cool with. You know what I mean? And if it's another Tevin Farmer type or somebody else, like that's what he gonna do. And I don't think he's gonna have a problem with it. Yeah, true professional, man. And shout out to him, man, for you know, telling the world that he suffered from Tourette's. He could have kept ignoring it, you know what I mean? But I think it got so obvious and so many eyes was on his rematch that everybody's seen it. So I'm glad he addressed it. Shout out to him and his lady, man. She a real one too. So I mean, I think the first one, there's an argument that he could have won for sure, but not so much the second one, you know, to pay that Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz do a lot of talking, man, about Keyshawn. He's starting to annoy me a little bit. I still like him as a fighter. He's just a little annoying because he won't stop talking about Keyshawn, and it's kind of lame because you're not fighting him, and you know Eddie Hearn not making that fight, but they're going to clout chase the name as long as they could, I guess. Andy Cruz perfect as a Peter. Throw him in there then. Direct towards the fight. Yeah, I think Oscar likes Oh, no, I get you, Eric. Yeah, for sure. Nah, and it's all good even if you thought the fighters were scared. I ain't tripping. Some people say, nah, just they scared. But I try not to say that, right? But yeah, I think it's confidence. I think you're right, Eric. It's not a matter of being scared. Oscar is a former fighter and he knows better. He knows matchups, he knows styles, he knows talent, right? And although he might feel like Zepeda is so dangerous and can test Shakur, he also knows how difficult he is to beat. And he said it in a very recent interview, how difficult of a style that is to beat. So I think just you look at the little context clues, man, the writing kind of on the wall. Don't be completely surprised, like I said, if they completely ignore Shakur as an opportunity altogether. Because I can see it happening. You know what I mean? Why else would you not speak about him after the fight? Why wouldn't y'all ask him about him? Like y'all asked everybody else about everybody. If it was any other fighter, they would have been asking, but they probably was instructed not to even ask him about Shakur. That's trash that y'all didn't even ask. And he ain't calling out the other champions. This dude got over 30 wins. I don't know what he on, but it's pissing me off, man. He said both Cruz and Zepeda try. So it goes all when it wants to. It really seemed like it got the best of Farmer on Saturday. Yeah, having to deal with it in real time, but he fought through it, man. Respect to Tevin Farmer, man. Much respect to Tevin Farmer for figuring it out and getting through it, bro. Much respect to T Farmer, man. Much respect to that king, man, that young king. Shout out to my dog, D1, man. Salutations, Brody. In the Cash App, man. Always supporting the grind, man. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to D1, my guy. Salutations, brother. They can do Zepeda versus Duarte. That'd be an entertaining fight. I ain't gonna lie. That'd be entertaining style-wise, but it just don't do nothing for Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? But keep him away from the top-tier talent that they keep saying he want. So that's the only thing about that situation that's frustrating, bro. They say one thing and then they do something else. You know what I mean? Say one thing and then they do something else. And it's like the same old song and dance with them every single time. So the no mention of Shakur is very telling. Like I said, Zepeda, I just don't understand what they're doing. I don't know why they won't challenge him. They keep saying how dangerous he is, how he'll be so tough for anybody he fight, how he can beat this one and that one, how he's so ready for all the champions. And then they continue to not fight the champions. And it's completely up to them and their decision that they elected not to. So I feel like at some point, man, he's getting to the point they need to remove him out the rankings if he's not gonna fight nobody. He's not gonna fight none of the champions. They need to remove him out the rankings or drop him. Either or, man. Either or, something gotta give. Something gotta give. You shouldn't be able to just hold on to a ranking and not never fight. You know what I mean? Yo, okay. Hannibal, what's good with a career mandatory is crazy. He said a career mandatory is crazy. If I give out the medals, he won when he was 28. That's a money thing. Japanese dude called him around this fight. I don't know who he is. Is he tough? He could be. Same thing with Kate Austin. Yeah, man. They didn't want no fight. So that's it, man. I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, kudos to him. Salute to him. He got the win. He got the win, but it wasn't impressive. It was sloppy. It didn't look good. Execution was poor. Yeah, he threw like 900 and some punches, but who cares at this point if that's how it looked? I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? And I don't know what exactly the story is with them. I'm not trying to be funny. I want to know if they've been drug testing for either of those fights. I'm just curious. I'm just asking for a friend, and I'm asking for myself. I'm curious. I just want to know. I just want to know. Keyshawn got a solid, strong resume for 13 fights to me. It's pretty solid. I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty damn solid. And if you match it up to anybody else with about 13 fights, you'll see that, right? You'll see that, okay, he's been matched up pretty solidly. The Top Rank has built him in a solid way. You know what I mean? Testing him accordingly along the way. You know what I mean? Gradually just moving him up, getting better, taking on more challenges. So I like it, man, because the question that I be having for people is who is it that they're supposed to be fighting at the stage that they're at that they're not fighting? You can't say that. You can't say that Keyshawn just not taking no challenges and you fighting people you never heard of and don't know who they is. It's not the case, right? Not fighting people with a bunch of losing records and stuff like that. That's not the case. So I think he's being built the right way, and that's how you do it. You know what I mean? Getting built accordingly. You know what I mean? He getting groomed, man. And he just getting better. He improving. So that's how you grow. That's how you build your fighter. Right, look huge in the second fight. That's what's Cartier. He did look big, bro. He did look big. He did look big, bro. Johnny Beck fighting this Friday. You the only one who did know. Maybe. I don't think too many people been talking about it. Back foot too much. Yeah, he can't ultimately, Irvin, he can't keep up with that punch output. He can't fight that fight like that, bro. Like the thing is, you're gonna be on the back foot, you can't still be getting hit. You get what I'm saying? Like he need to control the distance and range in a different manner. And I think him being an older version of himself, he's not as elusive as he used to be. So he's forced to kind of fight a different style that makes him in some ways more entertaining, but he has to take a lot more risks, a lot more damage throughout the fighting the way he fought Zapa in these two fights. So it's not exactly beneficial for him in the long term. Like, yeah, it looked pretty gutsy, but it's not your style. So anytime you see him fighting that way, he's essentially fighting to Zapa's strengths. So that's always never a good thing. You get what I'm saying? And that's what he did pretty much for two fights, even though in that first one, he truly gave him hell to me. Dropped him and everything, excuse me. And then the second one, like he hurt him a little bit late in the fight, but just wasn't able to put him away. So, I mean, it just is a dangerous way to fight a guy. Like, you're going to fight a guy to his strengths. That's why that's more of a knock on Zapa, though. I mean, to some degree, you could say it's a knock on Tevin, the IQ, maybe to approach the fight that way and play to a guy's strengths. But you also knew what he was trying to accomplish, like not allow himself to be bullied, try to push this guy back. I think it's very difficult and tough to not only go outside yourself, but then go outside yourself to push back a guy that all he wants to do is come forward and throw close to 80 to 100 punches around, shit like that. That's what he's trying to do. So it's just difficult, man. It's a risky approach, dangerous strategy, and your conditioning gotta be A++. You get what I'm saying? And you gotta be able to keep up with the punch output. I just think those two things deemed difficult for Tevin Farmer fight night. And you see it was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Body shots, scoring distance control, as a paid in hell. I think that'll be the key. Body shots and distance and range control, Jordan, early. In the jab, Jordan, early. Just some shit that an elite level fighter should be able to execute, I think, and pinpoint, right? Obviously go to his body because he's looking to throw a lot of shots. So you want to take as much air out of the tire as possible, right? And keep a jab in his face, right? Control the distance and range so he's not able to throw 100 punches around, 80 punches around on you. And then you slowly, siphon that gas out the tank and then, chip away at him and just embarrass him and outclass him. And if he start looking soft to the body, get his ass out of there. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see him approaching that fight, taking his time, picking, poking, stabbing at the body, little stuff, right? And try to take the air out of him and then just beat him, thoroughly outclass him. And record lucky KO against a good fighter. Lucas body's okay. But I do think he was very fortunate against H2O. Peter will never be trying to be anything, not the way they moving him, Shelton. So I don't know what's next for that guy. But with maybe another Oscar De La Hoya special, but we'll see. You know what I mean? They ain't made no mention of what's next, really. So they ain't even talking about champions as a whole. So I don't know what their plans are for that kid, but he keep winning. That's all that matters for them. Back put by the 7th round. Mental pressure would be too much. I could see it too, bro. I could see it too. It's possible. It's definitely possible, Jordan. Now, that shit change when you ain't having your way and it ain't going your way and you got to rethink. So definitely that should be a mental test for him. It definitely won't go the way his fights typically been going, to me. I think you have to pull out a totally different element. And if he can't do it, I think he'll find himself in trouble. I really do. I think he'll find himself in trouble, man. We'll see, though. We'll see. Jinsaki, that's the Japanese dude calling out Brian Norman during at this fight. So I could call out, too, because of the language barrier. Yeah, some weird stuff. I mean, look, he got to keep his options open because if he can't get the fight that he's looking for the most, then at least you'll have something. At least you'll have something, at least you'll have something for yourself. At least you have an alternative option that could end up lucrative and meaningful for you. So I don't know. But we know the fight they make. So let's see if boxing deliver. Let's see if Eddie Hearn deliver. Let's see if his focus and his heart is still in the right place if Boots is successful on April 12th. Because that's the only thing that matters is what he gonna do after this very next fight. You know what I mean? This San Jonas is a pit stop to something else better that he want, right? So 5 vs. 5 coming this summer, trying to see if that's real or not. Yeah, I think so. Was it Matchroom in Queensberry? Again, I think it could have been Matchroom in Queensberry, bro. Might have been Matchroom in Queensberry, Jordan. I think. Coming up. I just mentioned that. I just was reading. I think those are the two again. I think that's legit that they're trying to do that. Another one. Shout out to Big Dog Willie putting some color in the chat. My dog. Fantasy fight, just do. You got Tanks, Harry Grease versus Shane Mosley, S-Curl. Activator, what's the odds? S-Curl activated his favorite. How the fight will go. You a fool, bro. You a fool. I got 5 on it. The S-Curl wins. The S-Curl wins. How's Ryan Garcia ranked at welterweight? He ain't even fought at welterweight. Yeah, I had said that too. He is ranked there. It's amazing. But that's why when people tell me about the rankings and try to really make a case off it, I don't really be trying to hear it unless you can explain to me why the person is ranked where they at unless you know why. You know what I mean? If it makes sense. But shit like that always leave you scratching your head. You know what I mean? How could you be ranked somewhere where you never even had a fight at? So I don't get it either. But hey, it's popularity, you know, and rankings can be bought as well. So you just never know. Mayor says she agrees to her eye, but ain't want to take a knee. Did she say that? She was shooting shots, huh? Shout out to my dog, Big Dog, really, man. Y'all fools. Take place at 147 needs to be a unification. Yeah. That's why I said that's the plan. Ain't nothing. It's the best move for him. That's the best move for him is to get that man the unification fights that he deserves. You know what I'm saying? Anything else is just a waste of his time. And that's what they said they want, unification. So it's like title shots or unifications are bust, man. You get me? Unifications are bust, man. Ain't nothing else worth it for the young lad, man. Oh, yeah. Okay. We're gonna keep rolling. Yeah, we're gonna keep rolling. Let's keep rolling, man. So something else I wanted to talk about for a little bit. I seen that so many people was losing their minds about this Terence Crawford talk. Boots talk. Dr. Boxing talk, what it do, homie? How you feeling? So I wanted to address this statement that Terence Crawford had made recently that got so many people pissed off at him again. Where he spoke about Errol Spence and him not being Hall of Fame, and you know, if he retired right now, he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer. You know, I got a lot of people pissed off, man. So we're gonna play some of this. We're gonna see what Terence Crawford had to say, man. Let's get to it, man. Y'all hit the like button if you haven't. Shout out to the fam that's rocking out with your boy. We're gonna get to this, though. We're gonna get to this. His only loss was the current. She did say she had Vaseline in her eye. That's crazy. People can't disagree without being mad. Nah, I never understood it. Never understood it. But let's hear what T-Bug Crawford had to say, man.
You know what I mean? Seek and destroy just like Virgil. So Virgil showed a lot of heart and grit in that fight.
Right now, who would you say? First of all, I want you to
pound
say
for pound list, Kush.
Yeah, I do. I gotta get your pound for pound list, your top 5. I gotta
pound for
get
pound
that.
list and then pound for pound greatest boxers ever.
Dang.
5. And I want to tell you one.
I think this the right part, y'all. I hope so. So
then
let's
I'll tell
smash the like button. Let's hear this.
Manny Pacquiao.
What Budget
8 division
had to
world
say.
champion. Took chances. Fought everybody.
Well, let him give his list first.
Go ahead, my bad. I just had to because he's trying to go up, but I'm like, that's
he just put his.
But he can't.
No, but he asked me.
He can't put his list on my list.
Yeah.
Because I don't got Manny Pacquiao top 5.
You don't.
No.
8 division world champ.
8. Give me your.
Some people break that down, and I think they say he's not really an 8 division champ if you break it down, but that's if you just want to really, you know, those who know.
Your pound for pound right now.
We got me, we got Inoue, we got Canelo, we got Usyk.
Did you put Davis in there?
Stop giving him bro. Let my man give his list.
What you got?
How's the day?
Still no.
We can put Tank in there.
See? Who you struggling with though? Who you struggling with? If it's not Tank off top, who you struggling with?
I was just thinking about, you know what I mean, other fighters. But you can put Tank in there.
And what about the 5 greatest of all time, pound for pound?
Ooh, you got Sugar Ray
Lee
Robinson.
K, what it do?
You got Sugar Ray Leonard. You got Floyd Mayweather. You got Marvin Hagler. You got Roberto Duran. That's 5 for you right there.
Really? You put Hagler up there like that?
Yeah, that dude was great. And there's so many more.
It's funny though. It's funny because he said he put Hagler up there, and Hagler we all know was a career middleweight. He ain't never move up or none of that. And the reason he was saying for Errol Spence not being Hall of Fame, one of the reasons he was saying he stayed in the same weight class or something like that. So that would kind of kill his argument if you think about it.
Like you got Sweet Pea, you got so many other fighters.
But you don't put Manny up there. That's surprising to me, honestly.
It's a reason why he's not up there.
But
you should know that reason.
I want to hear from you. We talking about this.
Thank you. Come on,
it's your interview.
Manny's a generational talented fighter. Like he's accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Again, but
it's undisputed.
I don't feel like, he did it on his own. That's me personally, because for the simple fact, when Floyd made it a point for him to do the blood test, he didn't want to do the blood test. But then when he did do the blood test, he haven't got a knockout since.
Golly, man, that shit breaks my heart, dude.
But he was aging though.
Listen, one thing for certain, two things for sure. What's the last thing that leave you? Is the power. You may lose speed, you may lose athleticism, but that power gonna still be there. Look at George Foreman.
Right. That's last thing I wanted to is leave you is how do you see boxing now compared to, like you just mentioned, what was considered the golden age of boxing, Foreman, and all of these guys?
I think boxing have evolved
for the better.
Yeah, for sure. I think the fighters have got smarter. I think the fighters have pushed to get what they deserve. I think, the fighters is waking up and not just letting the managers and the promoters walk over them and steal from them. I think, boxing have evolved. When you got
the EJ when got to his head.
Things like the Muhammad Ali Act in place to protect the fighters. I think the fighters is, standing for something a little bit more than, a lot more than what they was back in the day. Because back in the day, they was, taking whatever. They didn't have nobody to say, hey, listen, they making this much money, off of you. You need to get this much or percentages and things like that. I think everything was based on a purse back in there. And here, I'm going to give you this and you're going to get this. And that's that. I think boxing is, in a place where the fighters is gaining more control and leverage nowadays.
Yeah, well, Terrence, I gotta give you my flaws before Kamaru, before we gotta.
Errol Spence Jr.
My bad, John.
Do you not think Spence will be in the Hall of Fame?
Right now? No, how? He fought in one division. He had a
WBC,
WBA.
He wasn't undisputed.
He wasn't. No, what I'm saying is they already called him a weight bully. He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. He beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
You know what I mean? That's a good win. I'm still a fan. I hope he do well. But, once it got to the point where I moved up in weight and I'm in the same weight as Spence, it's just like, oh, man, you ain't fighting nobody. You this, you that, you this, you that. So now they trying to blemish my accomplishment just to boost him up. I'm like, dude, you're not going to do that because I can retire right now and be in the Hall of Fame. He could. Everything that I've accomplished, he's still trying to accomplish. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on him. I honestly don't know if he make it to the Hall of Fame with the accolades that he didn't got right now.
Do not think Spence will be in the Hall.
That's the statement that got everybody tripping. Big Drake, my guy. I got you, bro. I'm going to post it to the community when I jump off here. Shout out to the homie Big Dre, man. Appreciate you rocking out with me, man. But what? Yeah, so that was the statement that got a lot of people buzzing. And, a lot of people was like, he hating on Errol Spence. There you go, hating again. He shitting on the best win of his career and, all these different things. I don't really see it as hate. I just see it as criticism, no different than what anybody else has. I think when he look at him, you know, it's I just don't like breaking down, like taking from their wins, because some of the same guys that you took credit from him fighting, you fought them after he did, and you would want credit for those same guys, right? Because you had to fight them. So you get what I'm saying? It's tough, man. I don't know even what the criteria is nowadays for guys being Hall of Fame, bro. You get me? I don't think you got to move through multiple different weight classes to be Hall of Fame. Like it's always going to be subjective and debatable. But I think Spence, man, when it's all said and done, even though he fell one belt shy of being undisputed, I mean, he went out there fighting the champions, bro. You got to respect it. So it's hard to say what he not going to be, but maybe he feels as though that he won't be. But I don't know if I look at it like that, man. I think Spence did his thing, but it's tough. You know, there's an argument for either guy, right? He looks obviously as himself as somebody that navigated through 4 different weight classes, been champion in all of them. He competed in the same weight class as Spence. And after him, right? He moved to his weight class, dominated and knocked everybody out, including the top dog there. Then proceeded to move up another weight class and win the title. So I think when he's speaking about him not being Hall of Fame, I think he strictly probably be comparing him to himself. You know what I mean? The way he see himself. Look at all the shit I done. If I retire, I'm definitely first ballot Hall of Famer. He not. I don't know if he is with those accolades that he got. So that's all. I think when it's all said and done, he just feel like he on more solid ground in terms of that Hall of Fame conversation than Errol Spence, because Errol Spence stayed at the same weight class. I don't buy into the weight bully garbage. I always thought that was BS, but I mean, he did stay in the same weight class, but he was very successful. He was dominating, snatching belts off guys. We understood he had a car accident, came right back fighting top-notch guys. So I don't know. It's just hard to discredit Errol Spence, but I don't think he's hating on him per se. I don't think there's no reason for him to hate on him, but it does kind of take from his win, with that being the most notable win on his resume, right? It's crazy that you will feel like the guy that's the most notable win on your resume is not a Hall of Fame worthy guy. It's crazy, but some feel like without that win, you wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure if that's the case, because like I said, with all the accolades with Terence Crawford, right? Undisputed in 2 different weight classes, it's hard to ignore that. But I don't feel like his resume was something so crazier than Errol Spence's. I don't see that, right? You know what I mean? I don't like discrediting neither one of their resumes. They fought who they fought. To me, it's how you handled that business when you fought those guys, right? I think Errol Spence did a bit heavier lifting in his career. You know what I mean? He did move up to 147. Terence Crawford did, and you know, he wreaked all types of havoc at 47. But Errol Spence was the guy. He been the guy all the way up until they fought each other. So he had a hell of a run up there. It's just hard to ignore the work that he's put in, the challenges that he faced, and the circumstances in which he took some of these challenges. It's hard to ignore. He was a 3-belt champion, 3-belt unified champion. You get me? So just hard, man. But again, for me, I don't hear hate when I hear that. That's just his opinion, and I don't lose my mind over it. That don't mean we got to think that. He can have his opinion, but it is interesting that, you know, I know my guy, Dr. Boxing Talk, said Hagler was undisputed, but he didn't cite that. You know what I mean? And he just said, you know, Hagler was great. He ain't say nothing. Oh, he was undisputed. He ain't named the accolades. He just said, you know, he was great, but then said, you know, Spence reason for not probably being it because he stayed at one weight class, you know? So, like I said, Hagler was a career middleweight. I don't think nobody knocked him for that. I don't think we can knock or disqualify Errol Spence for that. You get me? It just is what it is. You can't ignore the work he's put in. It's hard to do that. You know what I mean? You just get him man his credit, but I think it's hard to ignore, you know what I mean, Terence Crawford's accolades. But I think if you put their resumes up against each other, I don't think Terence Crawford has the stronger resume. That's my opinion. I don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't. The best guy that they will say you fought is Errol Spence. So it's tough, but nah. So I don't think he got the stronger resume, but he's been through a number of different weight classes. He's proven to be a top guy in every single weight class that he campaigned in. So that's impressive. But Errol Spence was the man at welterweight, and he was a 3-belt unified champion before taking his first defeat. You know what I mean? And there's nothing you can say bad about it. There's no way you can take it from him. So yeah, man, again, it's just tough. Like, we call everything hate, and I just don't see that as hate. But maybe his assessment might be a little off. It's just his opinion, right? It's hard to say if somebody's opinion is right or wrong, right? But it's just that's just how he thinks. I don't see it that way. I think Errol Spence will be stamped. I think he'll be fine when he retires, when it's all said and done, as will Terence Crawford. Just is what it is, bro. Like, but I don't think nobody. Obviously, their best opponent was each other. So make of that what you will, right? When it's all said and done, their best opponent was each other, and at least on paper. And then you got Errol Spence fought some of these other guys that Terence Crawford fought, but he fought at a earlier time. So make of it what you will, right? I'm just not big on discrediting these dudes. I can't beat nobody they fought. So who am I to be sitting up here talking about who ain't Hall of Fame? I can't beat them. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. I think both of those dudes have stamped and solidified themselves as some of the absolute best fighters in all the sport that has to offer. They both had crazy runs. Errol Spence's run got interrupted a couple times. He continued it a couple times, and it was what it was. It's hard to ignore his resilience and his willingness to come back after getting tossed from a car. We know the story. Can't shit on that. It's not too many people that share that story and kept pushing after that. So shout out to Errol Spence. Hopefully he make it back to get at least one more fight, if not nothing else. But it is what it is. Terence Crawford, man, he's pretty clean career, man. Very successful throughout it. It's hard to dismiss anything he's done, but you gotta think this is a competitive sport. It's egos, pride, and all that stuff. And you know, he just think he's done so much more. He like, I done more than him. You know what I mean? I accomplished way more than he accomplished. The shit he's still chasing, I already accomplished. So it's some truth to that. People don't like it, but it's like undisputed. That might still be a dream that he had, right? Terence Crawford, achieved it twice. It's like it's one of the harsh realities, but that don't like put you, in such a stratosphere that he's nowhere near it, but you can't ignore the accomplishments and you've done it twice, right? Like, I'm a guy that knows how to give credit without shitting on the next guy to do so. And when I look at both of them, I see no reason to take from their careers and the work that they put in. Neither one of them, you know what I'm saying? They fought who they fought, and they handled business damn near every time they was in there, at least, Errol with the one loss. So it is what it is. Judah Vision, my dog. What it do, homie? D for the win. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, he was chasing the big fight. You did, Cuddy. What it is? I said this though. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Despite it being a career middleweight, Marvin Hagler was undisputed for 7 years straight, 1980 to 87. That's a Snapple fact for you from the professor, Ant McQueen. Mr. Empire ESG will be the best thing on Buzz' resume, even if he beats Canelo. That'll be a debate for sure, though. You know what I mean? If he beat Canelo with EJ being the best, but he always going to be one of the best fighters on his resume. That's always going to be the case. And I don't think that'll ever change. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that'll ever change. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you got to give these dudes they credit, man. Like, I know we get annoyed when you hear, you like, man, what is Bud talking about? But Oddly Gifted, what's good with it, bro? He said Bud hadn't cleaned out a single division. I get it. But this is the way I look at it, right? This is just me. His 140 run was what it was, right? At that time I wouldn't have had nobody beating him at 140. So that's how I looked at it, right? I seen he fought who he fought, right? Fought who he fought, dominated those guys. He beat some ass at 140. I just didn't have nobody there actively beating him before he stepped up to 47. That was just me, right? So felt like he put a dent in it. I don't want to say absolutely cleaned it up, but he put a dent in it. And I think he at least left 140 with you feeling like you had to feel like that was the best fighter there at 140. You get what I'm saying? At least I did, right? I can't tell nobody else how to see. I thought he was the best fighter there before he left. Then he got to 47, and we seen what kind of run he had. I remember when they were saying he too light for the division. He too light in the ass. He ain't gonna make it. And I remember that kind of conversation, and he proved a lot of people wrong, bro. So, he had a hell of a run. You know what I mean? But it's just tough, bro. Like, I'm not the guy that's sitting there over analyzing resumes and calling everybody trash. Like, they fought who they fought, bro. Like, you get me? But every time he was in there, he showed you that he was one of the most consistent fighters, the best performers that we got in the sport, right? So same thing with 47, right? It might have been somebody that you thought he could have fought, maybe a Boots, right? He could have fought a Boots. And maybe you think Boots could have beat him. But I just, for me, I didn't have nobody beating him. He beat Errol. I didn't have nobody beating him. You know what I'm saying? After Errol, to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's how I look at it. You know, leaving 35. Maybe it was some meat on the bone down there before he left 35 for sure, right? Some people he could have fought, but just didn't have nobody hands down beating him. Get what I'm saying? As you want to throw Pacquiao in the mix, I don't give a damn who it is. Like, that dude is dangerous. You know what I mean? But it's just tough, man, because politics is always going to weigh in on these dudes' career, especially the fighters that we watch it today. So it's like when I look at it, there's fights that he definitely could have taken that would have been entertaining for us that just didn't happen for one reason or another. But I don't think you could look at Crawford as a guy that is as accomplished as he is because he avoided smoke and he avoided challenges and competition, right? I know he ain't people's favorite, right? There ain't your favorite guy, but that man could fight his ass off, bro. And I think it says something about you. It speaks volumes when you're able to campaign at, you know, a number of different weight classes and always find yourself being one of the absolute top guys there, solidifying yourself as such before moving out of there. So he did it at 35. He did it at 40. He did it at 47. You know, he had to fight at 54. Can't say he cleaned out the division, but he already showed you one of the first fights there, he's going to be one of the top guys in the division. So I feel like that's impressive. Now he challenging, you know, Canelo in September, so they say. So I don't know, man. I think these dudes are proven. I think they're both accomplished in their own right. I really don't care to try to over compare. Like, you know what I'm saying? Spence did what he did. Bud did what he did. I think when it's all said and done, the people gonna speak. You know what I'm saying? The people gonna speak. So you know, their work is solidified at the end of the day. It's not really that big a deal because it's just his opinion. Just like, look, this is Ugas. This is Ugas, a guy who fought Spence. Say I even think if Errol Spence Jr. were to retire today, I think he'd be a Hall of Famer. He practically came back from death and eye surgery to become a 3-time champion. Has an incredible story of overcoming it. He had injury, my eye. He said he hard injured my eye, but that's boxing. Man, so he gave him his credit. Guys did, you know? Gave him his credit. He said he felt like Spence would be a Hall of Famer if he retired, right? So there you go. It's not always one way. Ugas got his opinion. Should I go and get in Ugas comment section and be like, but he only stayed in one division? You're Danish? Like, should I do that? No. People got their opinions, man. I don't think it's hate, just like I don't think he overpraising Errol by saying he just giving his opinion. And he highlighted why. He like, bro, the dude practically came back from the dead. Eye injury to be a 3-time world champion. You crazy. He's a Hall of Famer right now if he retired. You know what I mean? And Terence Crawford, like, nah, he stayed at the division too long. They was calling him a weight bully. You know what I mean? And he ain't make it to be undisputed. That's what he was really trying to do. He ain't do that. I did it. Like, that's how Terence Crawford looking at it. You trying to do what I already did twice. So, nah, you wouldn't make it. I don't think so. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, he don't know for sure. But, nah, man, them dudes are accomplished, man. They both great in their own right. It is what it is. It's not that big a deal. Errol gonna always be respected in the sport of boxing, I think. Porter was an ex-champion. Danny and Thurman avoided Bud. I think he would have beat Danny for sure. Styles make fights. Danny, that would have been bad for him. Thurman would have been a good fight, though. Thurman would have been a good one, Damon. That would have been a good one, Bud and Thurman. I ain't gonna lie. There's some fights that could have been made. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I ain't gonna say he fought everybody. You ain't hear me saying that, but I just didn't feel like he was a guy that was avoiding quality opposition and facing and taking challenges. I didn't get that from Bud. So it's all good. You know what I mean? Him saying that about EJ, it is what it is. It just makes me wonder though, you know, with that being what people look at as your best name on your resume and your biggest win, it's crazy that you don't see him as Hall of Fame worthy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Bud and Bud's mind, it don't have to be a crazy name that he's fought to make him Hall of Fame. He looking at all the accomplishments. You get what I'm saying? Being the champion in 4 weight classes, undisputed in 2. It's just hard to ignore that much, you know what I mean? That much success, no matter what. You get what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to ignore that. You also picked Bud over Canelo. He did. He said he rocking with Bud over Canelo. J Bean was good. I think Mel stopped Bud to this day. Shit, I wish we could see the fight, bro. I really do. I would love to see it, man. Love to see it, bro. Love to see it. It's a good fight if they can make it. It's a good fight. Mm-hmm. The fiction character. Yeah, you got a point, Thomas, man. Can't argue that, bro. No argument there. That's why I said I don't necessarily agree with Bud. I don't see BJ as not being a Hall of Famer. But I hear him, like he stated his case, and I respect it. That don't mean I gotta agree with it, right? You know what I mean? Entitled to his views, man. He had his way he see it, just like we got our way we see it, man. We ain't wrong for seeing it differently than Bud. You know what I mean? People just, you know, they felt like he was taking a shot at Errol, but I don't think so the way he said it. It's just competition. That's what I hear. Like, yeah, ain't no way. He ain't Hall of Fame. I'm Hall of Fame. Look at all the shit I accomplished, bro. He ain't even get to be undisputed. I did it twice. And like, I ain't saying he think exactly like that, but I'm pretty sure it go a little something like that. Get me? So that's all. Just stacking his accolades and accomplishments up to his. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But keep rolling, man. Let's keep rolling. Smash the like button for me. Something else that I've seen, you know, hit the internet and got people talking is Shakur. He was at the fights this past weekend. Of course, he was going to be 704 Joe. What it do, homie? He was at the fights, man, and he gave his thoughts on, you know, who he thought was going to win the rematch between Roach and, you know, Tank. And I guess that got people pretty pissed off.
What does the rematch look like between Lamont and Gervonta, you think?
I like Lamont in the rematch.
You were one of the few that kind of picked Lamont to begin with. Why was that?
I sparred with Lamont. I knew that he was a good fighter. He helped me get ready for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I knew his style with Tank style, what he was going to be able to bring to the table. I knew it. So,
did you really win 20 rounds?
I swear to God, on my daughter's life, I won that much money.
How different does a rematch look in your opinion, Shakur? What adjustments do you think we see from both?
Huh?
What adjustments do we see from both in a rematch?
I think I can't tell you game plans. I could be fighting these guys, so I'm gonna keep my secrets to myself. But truthfully, they both good fighters.
Do you think it's a lot different rematch, or do you think it'll be close again?
It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
How did you see Tank in that fight? A lot of people are saying maybe he's just mentally not there. What did you see?
Nah, he was the same Tank. I don't believe that. I don't got no thought in my brain that makes me think that he wasn't the person he been all of these other fights. I think he was the same person. All this stuff that he going through stuff. I mean, everybody go through stuff. So he's the same fighter. He's gonna be the same fighter throughout his career. So.
Interesting. So to me, again, that's not a big deal. I mean, so I guess what he say matter a little bit more to people than what they be leading on. All he said is he feel like Lamont will win the rematch. A lot of people said that. A lot of people felt like they thought Lamont won the first fight. They feel like he can win the rematch. Feel like this fight is Tank's fight to prove that he gonna beat this guy the way he said he gonna beat him. It's not that big a deal to me. I don't know why people be tripping about opinions, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't go crazy. I mean, do I got Lamont Roach winning the rematch? No, not me. It's gonna be another, I think, a good fight. It could go the distance again, but it's hard to bet against Tank. I think if Tank come in, make some adjustments, I definitely could see him pulling the fight off. You know what I mean? But Lamont Roach has made a case for himself as well. Tank do worse than he did the first time around. He could find himself with his first L. So it's all about who performs on the night. But that's what boxing is. It's about that night, yo. You could have beat Godzilla, King Kong, you know what I mean, back-to-back fights. And then you get in there and lose. So if you don't perform on that night under them lights, it don't matter who you beat. So at the end of the day, that's what has to be said for both guys. 88 would it do, homie. I doubt Tank gives Roach his rematch. I mean, I hear it's signed. I hear it was no discrepancies about the money. I hear that's not factual as far as the money. I think everything was agreed on. So I think they ready to go. I think they're just waiting on Tank's end, and I don't think he getting out of the fight. That's the consensus. That's the fight that's coming up next. That's all they know. So I think that's the only thing they waiting for is confirmation. I think Tank pretty much already committed to a rematch, right? So this will be a first, like, to hear him say he committing to a rematch and then like go in another direction. I don't think it'd be a good look, and I think he want this get back, right? I think he want to go back in there with him. You know what I mean? And prove it. So ego, pride, and stuff like that. I think that alone won't let him walk away from this fight, and he don't want to. I don't think he's shying away from a challenge, and I think this is speak volumes about him to a degree of what kind of fighter he is, because this is an opportunity to tuck your tail, to go in another direction and try to, oh, nah, I fought you already. I ain't got to fight him again, right? I mean, this is an opportunity where you could take that approach. But for me, I think the fighter in him, I think he's going to want to go in there and get that work. I think he's going to want to go in there and fight him. So I could be wrong, but from what I understand, that's what's coming up next. So I think the only thing we wait for is an official date for a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Date, location, all that good stuff. But I think they're going to fight again. I see another good fight. Could Tank get him in a rematch and knock him out? Yeah, it could happen, because that's typically what he do. But could Lamont take it a distance again and fight another close fight? Yeah, he could. But do I got him winning? Respect to him. I don't know. It's hard to bet against Tank. He gonna have to do something really, like he gonna really have to make some key adjustments to make this fight a win for him and not another close fight and not a contested loss for him, right? So I don't know. It's gonna be tough to dethrone Tank. That shit is not gonna be easy. The way he fought, March 1st impressed a lot of people. They didn't think he was able to do that. So you got to now prove to people that not only you can fight that well, you can do it again and possibly better. So that's the challenge for him. Now, for Tank on the other side is, can you do better than what you just did that night? The consensus is, for the large part, that he can. So people feel like, for the ones that's not feeling like it's an off night, it just maybe he was in there with somebody that knew him, familiarity. Now he got to bring a little bit more to the table. Bring a couple more tools out of the shed. Maybe that's what he'll do. So possibilities are there. Let's see who's going to make the adjustments. Not tripping because Shakur picked Lamont in a rematch. I don't know why people be bugged out about his opinion. I mean, shit, I think he initially, did he pick him to win the first fight? No, he said he predicted how it would go. I don't know if he made a prediction, but it's not a big deal, man. They got to fight at the end of the day. And it's the fight that makes sense for both guys right now. What does Tank do differently? I don't know. Maybe, and I hate to say start fast, because that was supposed to be the consensus now, but I don't know. You know what I mean? That's up to him. I don't know what he's going to do differently, but that is the idea. Start faster. You know what I'm saying? And not allow yourself to fall behind in rounds or nothing like that. Or put a stamp or a seal on rounds earlier by being a bit busier. I don't know if that equates to him starting faster, but that's what he's going to have to do. He said, so you Tank hater. That's how they be Zoom. I knew you was a hater all this time. Overrated, had been exposed. Now, that's for them weird fans, man. You only get exposed if you wasn't fighting a guy that is on that level. You know what I'm saying? That's not a good high caliber fighter. I think Lamont Roach showed he can do that. And again, it comes down to sometimes styles, and I think they knew each other. I'm going to keep saying that. I think that played into the fight being competitive the way it was. I could be wrong as hell. Now, the rematch is show. If it's another close fight, and maybe Lamont is better than what people think. So I don't know. But I can't wait to see the rematch, though. That's one out everything. And he said, y'all not talking about that. You said the rematch coming because if you're going by what is out there, and then Tank said after that the rematch is coming. He's being pushed for Roach, asked for more money and pricing himself out. His pops. Shout out to Jay Hardcore Boxing News. He spoke to his pops. So as far as the money being an issue, that wasn't factual. He said, he was able to confirm that that's not true about Roach pricing himself out. So he said any of that garbage about you hearing him pricing himself out is a lie. You know what I'm saying? And again, my only answer to that, you can't. Can you really price yourself out if you fighting for the biggest bag you stand to make ever? You get what I'm saying? For him to price himself out, people got to know what he asking for. Just think about that one key. For people to know that he's pricing himself out, Anybody that thinks that, can they tell me or tell anybody what Lamont Roach is asking for them to confirm that he's pricing himself out? Just that's for anybody that's pushing that. Not my bro, but anybody that's pushing that. That's just a fair question. Like, what is it that he asking for? Because you can't say that without knowing. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, know somebody that talked directly to his pops, and his pops cleared any of that up. So that ain't the case. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Can't wait to see the next one. Stevenson thinks Roach will beat Tank. Does he still think fighting Tank is the Super Bowl? Yeah. Yep. So he won 20 racks. He said betting on the fight goes the distance. He said, yeah, he put that on his door. He won that much. So I think he still think it's a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I do. Because it's still a big, meaningful fight. It's still the biggest fight for him, regardless of what happened between him and Lamont. He could go lose in a rematch to Lamont. I think that's still the biggest fight for Shakur to make.
Colin McGuigan, IFL TV, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur, first of all, what did you make of Michaela Myers' performance tonight?
I thought she won the fight clearly. I thought Sandy fought back at times.
I don't think he should have pressed no charges. I think that...
Colin McGuigan, IFL TV, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur, first of all, what did you make of Michaela Myers' performance tonight?
I thought she won the fight clearly. I thought Sandy fought back at times, but I thought Michaela won.
In terms of yourself, Eddie Hearns came out this week and said Shakur Stevenson doesn't mind waiting on that Gervonta Davis fight. What do you want? You want to wait?
No, I don't want to wait, but I don't mind waiting. If it came down to it and he want me to sit down, not Eddie, but Tank, he say, we'll fight in September for sure. If there's a contract on the line, I'll wait for him.
In terms of the conversations, what conversations have you had about that potential fight?
I really ain't hear nothing because of the fact that I know that he's probably going to rematch with Lamont Roach. So I guess he got to go get his get back. But until then, we'll see.
If you are to fight in the meantime, who would you be fighting?
I like Zapa.
Any conversations with Floyd Schofield after that, mishap that happened in Saudi Arabia?
Nah, I was kind of disappointed in him. So
disappointed just because the fight didn't happen, or was there more to it?
Disappointed because I gave him my opportunity, and he shitted all over my opportunity. So I don't respect him. I don't respect his father. I don't respect none of them.
Would you never give him a chance to run it back again then?
Nah.
Shakur, final one from me. Obviously, you're right here. Terence Crawford's here. Canelo in September. How does that fight go?
But
you think he stops him?
He can't stop him, but
Shakur, thanks.
There you go, man. I seen people talking about that as well, about him saying he willing to wait in September. I don't know how people watch boxing or listen to shit, but all he's saying, that man clearly gonna fight Lamont Roach next. If he tell me that it's a for sure contract in September, yeah, I'll wait for him. What's wrong with that? That's telling you the hell was Zapa and anybody else in the middle of him. You get what I'm saying? That's like, bro, you go handle your business, but you telling me that it's a contract for us to fight in September? Hell yeah, I'll wait for you to fight. What the problem? I don't know why that could be a problem. I can't understand it. That literally would mean that's its next fight would be Tank after him and Lamont Roach handle business. I can't look at that and complain and well, he said this before and man, that's what he's supposed to say in my opinion, bro. If this man say he wanted to fight me in September after he got the fighter with Lamont Roach out the way, I'm with that. I'm all for it, bro. That's what I want to do. You get what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. And I like it. I just think it's what it is. He got business to take care of. You can't make the fight by yourself. Like he said, he don't want to wait for shit, but that's obviously how the cookie gonna crumble. You're gonna have to sit there and wait for him and Lamont Roach to sort out their business before they can even think about fighting. And he said he likes Zapa, but Zapa might not like the thoughts of getting in the ring with him next. So we all know what his plans was. We knew what their plan was to get him as Zapa fight and the Tank fight at the end of all of that. Let's see if he can get either one of them. I like the Tank fight more than the Zapa fight. Zapa just seemed like he dragging his feet. He don't seem serious, and I just shit just get on my nerves, man. Stop the games, man. Stop Tank. Nah. That's the one too. That's pissed the people off. Let me see. Shakur fight in June. Stay busy fight. I was hearing something about September, possibly. I'm not sure. Let me see something. Let me see. Let me see. I don't got that one. Can't Nation moves around with Tank Dawn. Nope. And again, that's clearly why he said, if you tell me for sure in September, yeah, I will wait for him. But if not, no, he gonna keep doing what he doing. That's exactly what that means. That's not basing your moves around the next man. That's telling you if you telling me, you reassuring me that September we fighting, yeah, I'll wait for that. And I don't see how somebody can have a problem with that at all. Like if you arguing about that or mad about that, that's just different. It's nothing there. It's what it is. It's what he said. He obviously got to fight. He got to handle. They know people know he been trying to fight Zepeda, but we all know how that shit been going. So I'm not too optimistic that shit gonna happen. And if I can get a Tank fight in Shakur before Zepeda, then give it to me. I don't give a damn about no Zepeda. Know what I mean? I don't care about Zepeda. This shit is crazy, man. But anyway, man, one last thing, man. He spoke about Devin Haney and hold on, Sauce Walker did speak about this. He gave he gave an interesting take on this fight. Hold on, y'all. We play this.
Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight.
Facts.
Like when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved the Tank. Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody, the larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so and what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
Interesting, man. Interesting. I don't know. Interesting take, man. Look, man, that's an old saying. You to be the champ, you gotta beat the champ and all that shit. But at the end of the day, I feel like a win is a win. That fight is always gonna be so closely contested. You can never really truly make a case for somebody getting robbed at all. So I'm not trying to hear that. Everybody got an opinion on this fight. I ain't tripping about this shit. I can't wait to see the rematch. I hope they get it over with and then they make the next best fight, which is Shakur and Tank. I don't know what's going to happen between them, but it is what it is. I just want to see another good fight. He feels like he lost. A lot of people felt like he lost. Some people don't want to admit that he lost, or they felt like, he just, he came close to it, or he didn't look his best, or didn't perform his best. I don't know. It's not that big a deal. It's boxing, man. It's hard to have your best night every single night, and when you don't, it's always going to be somebody that could creep up and possibly beat you. You know what I'm saying? So you need to speak the speed to the speed and let Roach, he's Roach walking to the power. I personally think you should fight about same time as Tank, because the September turnaround for Tank be a little too soon. I don't know. I don't know, but I just like the idea. Basically, he's saying after your fight, I'll wait for you if we're for sure fighting next. I like that as a response. But if not, obviously it's probably not going to be that. Then he gonna probably end up in there trying to fight somebody else. That's all. I doubt if either guy want to go into a fight like that inactive or anything like that. Layoffs. I don't think he want that. He said, "Oh, you got to think Roach won for you to know boxing." No, yeah. I mean, shit. That's how people act. If you got to think one way or the other, or you don't know boxing. You think Roach won, you don't know boxing. You think Tank won, you don't know boxing. It's all day. Yeah. Neither one. The harsh reality of it is, man, oddly gifted. Neither one of them are robberies. Neither one are robberies. Neither fighters are robbery. The Tank fight wasn't a robbery. People don't know what robberies are. That Hamza Shiraz and Carlos Adames, that's a robbery. Tank and Lamont Roach, that's just a close decision. That's shit that happened in boxing. Farmer and Zapa 1 was close. There's an argument that he could have won that fight, but still not a robbery. It just was too close to be that. And then the one from Saturday, he lost to me. Shout out to her right now. You feeling, Queen? Mont did question marks on his jacket. Did put question marks on his jacket? Yeah, he did. He did. Made him question some things. Now he got to clean it up. He got to do better for the next time around. Could be a wake up call for Tank. A reason to get on your P's and Q's the next time around. You know what I'm saying? Cambosis over Maxie Hughes. Yup. Cambosis beat Maxie Hughes. That's a robbery. You know what I'm saying? David Ortiz Jr. got robbed because Rudy Gobert, you stupid, bro. Yeah. So those are more suited to robberies, man. Just can't wait to see the fight. Let both guys run it back. May the best man win. And that just is what it is, Tank come from them humble beginnings. But one last thing I wanted to play, man. Shakur Stevenson spoke on Devin Haney situation briefly. Yeah, that definitely was a robbery. He spoke on Devin Haney's situation recently. This is what he said.
I don't think he should have pressed no charges. I think that I think that we boxers, so at the end of the day, I don't think that was a good move, but it is what it is. I think he's a hell of a fighter too.
Do you think that the response from the fans is, I don't know, justified being, he got booed at the press conferences? I feel like that was probably...
Nah, that's not justified just because you got to realize he got up how many times in that fight? That means he showed so much heart that night. You got to respect the heart that he showed that night, and I feel as though when guys show that much heart, get up that many times, keep fighting, put they all on the line, you got to respect them, man. I feel like no disrespect to the Mexican heritage. I just feel like if that was a Mexican fighter, we wouldn't be doing the same thing. But I feel like with Devin, it's kind of, they pick and choose. So that's my opinion.
Do you think some of the boos come from the whole suing thing and from Bill?
If that's the case, I get it. Yeah. If that's the case, I kind of get it. And Bill do kind of talk a lot, so I get that too. But truthfully, it's Devin that's in the ring. So when Devin is in that ring, him getting up that many times, there got to be some respect.
He didn't do anything wrong either.
He didn't quit.
Yeah.
No matter what happened that night, he didn't quit. So you got to respect it.
If something like that would ever happen to you, I know it probably wouldn't, but would you go that course of action that they did?
No, hell no. Like I say, I'm locked in, I'm focused. I got to make sure that I stay on top of my game. So, truthfully, I'm not going to let nothing like that happen.
These reporters be funny as hell. If something like that were to happen to you, and I'm assuming it's probably won't, but yeah, these reporters, these media people be funny as hell, bro. If there's something like that were to happen to you, oh man, this shit is funny. Man, but shout out to him, man. He's spoken like a real one. Look, you got to respect Devin's heart, his grit, the determination, his willingness to get back up. just getting tested the way he was, getting his face punched the way it was. You know what I mean? He got tested in a way that he never been tested in his career. And he could have packed it in. He could have packed it in, could have folded, but he did. Gotta respect that. There's always something. You gotta respect that at the end of the day, right? You got to. You got to, man. So I just like the fact that he seemed like he been on this high road lately, and he ain't really been too much concerned with what everybody, you know, trying to one up nobody. He speak his opinion, he just keep it moving, but he ain't trying to trash nobody. I like that energy. Stay focused, stay locked in. Don't worry about what nobody else got going on, man. You got real smoke, real fights to make, and as long as you given the opportunity, I know you're gonna go out there and do what you need to do. Shout out to him, man, for giving, you know, taking a high road, giving Devin Haney his just due, even though he been getting dragged through the mud left and right for a fight, you know, that happened last year, you know. So I like the fact that he chose to give him his respect instead of trashing him. You know what I mean? Shout out to Pooh the Kid, my dog. Appreciate you, bro.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
Right.
well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
One thing about criticism, y'all, that people forget, like, it's easy to have an opinion, but you don't forget that you got to fight too. You have to fight. You got to fight too, bro. You get what I'm saying? So don't ever forget, man. It's easy to trash somebody when they have a off night, but you go out there and do the same shit. Now it's on you. So, you know, that's boxing for you. You don't have your best night every night, man. You could wind up losing, bro. That's just really what it is. You have to say hell no because of the coons and racists don't clean up the sport. Yeah, man, that's wild. That's wild. Yeah, it is the best way to go, man. Just stay locked in and focus. I mean, give your opinion, but don't go out of your way to try to shit on somebody. That's what I always say. Be genuine with every response and opinion that you do have, right? Just don't be offering up an opinion just to have something crazy to say. And I like the approach he's been taking as of lately. Seemed like he's been showing some signs of growth, man. But like he stay on it consistently, man. That's something I could really appreciate from an energy standpoint. Just like not being too wrapped up into what everybody else is doing to the point where all you do is obsess and talk about people. You know what I'm saying? And it's weak. Last thing, y'all. Last thing real quick before we get out of here. I got to talk about this. I know y'all seen this. If y'all didn't see it, I seen it. Here it is. I noticed. Remember, I asked y'all who Ryan Garcia was training with. He said his pops and his brother or something like that. I heard another trainer as well. But he recently had put this up on Twitter, said major announcement. He working with Derrick James's camp and it's going to be great. You know, let's go, all this. This is interesting. I thought that relationship was cooked. I thought it was done. I thought that ship sailed. Seems like maybe it hasn't. Seemed like Derrick James, you know, is willing to work with Ryan. Obviously, if he being genuine with this tweet. So if he got Derrick James in his corner for this fight, man, he should be all right. I mean, I thought he was gonna win anyway, but at least he got somebody that we could deem a solid trainer. I thought Derrick James had him looking good for the fights that he fought under him, right? He looked solid. He looked like an improved fighter, right? So, and you know, at the end of the day, Ryan he pay that bread, right? He pay that bread. So, you know, R. Stokes, what it do, homie? So I hope it's true. Bills. Yeah, man. He said it. He said he would DJ. Shout out to my dog, man. Pooh the Kid, man. In the Cash App, always supporting the grind. Said, gotta catch the replay, my G. Always. You know it, man. Appreciate you, bro. Just we recap this weekend fights in a little bit, man. Something like shout out to Pooh, man. Shout out to Pooh. Derrick James can reach Ryan. Yeah. Ain't gonna lie. How you want to train Errol? But you want to train Ryan? Yeah, I think GM. I think the best way I can answer that, if I'm not all base, and tell me if I sound like I'm crazy. Business at the end of the day. And as much as people be wanting everybody to hate Ryan, the fact remains is he's still a product that sells, right? He can generate money. You know what I mean? I think as long as that's the case, people gonna have a willingness to work with him. You get me? Right? It's just gonna be looked at as business. And I'm telling you, I ain't here to make no excuses about nothing he said. None of that energy put out. He's an idiot. Him and T.O. But I just think it's more to him than getting in front of the cameras and the microphone saying stupid shit. I think it's a reason why people continue to rock with him outside of money as well. But I do think that's the ultimate biggest reason. You know what I mean? Money. You get what I'm saying? Pete, money and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I think him and think about it. Him and EJ, from what I understand, still dealing with their situation. So, you know what I'm saying? Everything was all good until that money funny, until that money ain't right, then all bets is off. So just goes to show you, man, money is the root of all evil. That can mess up any good relationship, bro. Any good relationship. So I don't know, but Derrick James, I think he could get through to Ryan a bit. I think he could get him to take things serious and lock in. But I don't know if he's gonna fully change his stripes, Ryan Garcia, in terms of really being that guy that's 100% focused and locked in, dedicated to his craft and taking shit serious. I don't know if we can say he'll be that guy, but he got an opportunity under Derrick James to show it. And if he can show that, then maybe there's a brighter future for him in boxing than what we can anticipate. But if not, then he gonna have those up and down type of performances. His name always gonna kind of ring, but he'll never reach his full potential. So we'll see. We'll see. But that Ryan and Derrick James back, this should get it. This should be interesting. This should be interesting. Y'all can take you through some evil places and circumstances. That's a fact. Ryan Garcia need to pick a damn train and stay there. Yeah. I think Arena, I think that's due to like the inconsistency that he's shown within his career. Just like bouncing around, not locking in, not taking it as serious as he should, and just, you know what I mean? Not sitting still. You get what I'm saying? Sit your ass still and lock in. And I hate that for Ryan because I wish he ain't say a lot of the stuff he did, because all of that talent, he could easily be a likable kid. He could talk shit, and nobody dislike him for talking shit. It's the stuff that comes out of his mouth that people don't respect. Think about it. Before he was saying any of that stuff, we ain't dislike him in that way. You didn't have those same feelings about him. You looked at my talented kid, got the crazy left hook and speed, right? Good fighter. He's talented, bro. But if he just relax and fight, and I ain't gonna say shut up and fight, do you, but just be smart. Grow, mature, show some growth. Now, I mean, you know what I mean? Grow the hell up, man. Simply put, grow up, man, and act like you've been somewhere before. You know what I mean? That dude got a lot of talent. So if he was to lock in, man, there's no telling how good he could be. Fantastic performance this weekend. Yeah, Norman did his thing, bro. Norman, Bruce, Carrington, Shushu did his thing. Tiger Johnson, they all made statements to me. All got knockouts, statement wins. 147 is heating up. Shushu making 126 very interesting. 135 is going to continue to be what it's going to be. We got a real good, meaningful rematch coming up. Shakur talking Zapa. Zapa ain't talking nothing. So we still got some good shit coming up, man. Good boxing, good fights, and we going to keep building. Dog said he's in the clan. He wants to be there. That's crazy. Yeah, he wild. Derrick James says, shit, as long as you got my check, you get me. It just business, King Rod. Just business. It just business. DJ would train AJ if you pay as well as Ryan. Hey, man. Hey. They probably wouldn't even be in that situation if that was the case too, Mr. Impride. But, you know, not to be in them folk business, but it is what it is. Hopefully they rectify whatever situation they have lingering and they find a way to shake hands and either part ways, move on, or actually work back together again. It'd be dope to see a video pop up where Errol Spence being trained with Derrick James watching him. Just throwing that out there, a little wishful thinking. They buried the hatchet and you see ESJ get trained for a comeback fight, you know what I mean, with Derrick James, and he come back and win. Wishful thinking, y'all. Thanks once them Shakur problem. I don't think so either, R. Stokes. I don't think he do either, bro. I don't think he do either. You two hillbillies need to learn the difference. Thomas, you a fool, bro. Yeah, so we gonna see, man. Derrick James, man, is back working with Ryan, according to Ryan Garcia. Deontay Wilder got a comeback fight coming up June 27th. I believe this is BLK Prime. Shout out to Bomb Squad. I'm always rocking with him anytime he fighting, win, lose, or draw. I don't care. Hope he smoked this dude, spark his ass out, and keep it pushing. Wilder said he been too soft for too long, so hopefully he get that fire back. I know it's a stretch, but I'm always rocking with him to see him win, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, what? Pardon me, y'all. Pardon me, got distracted. But shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. Another dope build in the books. I gotta go take care of something real quick, man. Y'all smash the like button on the way out. Sub to the channel. Turn your notifications on. We will be back at 4 p.m. tomorrow to build on this sport of boxing like we always do. Much love to everybody. Super chat, cash app. I appreciate y'all today, man. We just gonna keep building. Y'all know the slogan. Let's build boxing up. We ain't tearing it down, and we just gave boxing its just due. With that, I see all y'all tomorrow, 4 p.m. Much love. We out.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Just Do shine, busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Just Do Boxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Just Do. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
What's going on? And one of my favorite channels, if y'all into that pugilistic perfection, if y'all into that boxing, that's that boy Just Do Boxing here on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out Just Do Boxing, the only unbiased boxing channel on YouTube, because I am definitely biased.